Ole Miss, number 3 in the SEC West, taking on number 4 in the SEC West, Auburn. Getting set for kickoff from that one in Auburn, Alabama. Rob Stone, Matt Stinchcomb here with you. And Ole Miss getting so much love, so much attention with their offense. Jevin Sneed, a Heisman candidate coming into the season. Dexter McCluster with a huge breakout game last week. But it's really their defense, you think, that kind of sets the tone, or maybe the tone setter today.
I think so. I mean, that defense has kind of floated this offense along. Last week, Ole Miss did well offensively, but part of it is because Ole Miss is being able to put them in some good situations and put pressure against their opponents. And right now, Ole Miss last week, held Ryan Mallett 12 of 34 passing, 1 touchdown, 4 sacks on the Arkansas quarterback. They're able to get a lot of pressure. They don't give up a lot of first downs. They're excellent in getting off the field on third downs. This Auburn offense is predicated on running a lot of plays. Those two ingredients don't add up to what Gus Malzahn wants to do offensively. They're getting off the field too easily on defense with Ole Miss defense right now. And look, right now, this pass D, 47% completions. Chris Todd's already struggling a little bit at that quarterback spot. You can't think that this is going to be a good defense for him to start getting things back on track. It's going to be a challenge against this defense for Ole Miss.
And you see the Tigers take to the field again. Auburn started off the season 5-0, got themselves into the top 25, and then fell out with 3 consecutive losses. They need to bounce back big time. A home afternoon game is a great way to do it. Matt and I will see you at halftime. For now, we send it out to Auburn, Alabama. Kara, Andre, and Dave.
It is our Wrangler SEC Game of the Week from a soggy Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn, Alabama. And today, it's an SEC Western Division showdown between 2 old-fashioned rivals dating back to 1928. Ole Miss ranked 25th in the latest BCS standings, taking on the Auburn Tigers. Now, as far as the SEC West standings go, you see Ole Miss at 2-2 in league play. Now, they are basically eliminated from a championship. They need a minor miracle to win the West, although it's still there. But they are playing for what could be a potential big-time bowl game. Auburn got off to a great start. They're trying to get that momentum back. They're also trying to get bowl eligible today. Both these clubs, the winner will become bowl eligible at the end of the afternoon. And a happy Halloween, everybody. Dave Neal along with my trick-or-treat partner, Andre Ware. Glad you could be with us. And Andre, last week we had a chance to watch Ole Miss take on Arkansas back in Oxford. What a show the Rebels put on. Everybody around Oxford saying it was their best game they've played all year long. They got that mojo back offensively. If they want to continue down this path, what are they going to have to do today against Auburn?
Well, they're going to have to get consistent play from their quarterback, Jevin Sneed, who in the last 2 weeks has just been outstanding. Career highs in yards against UAB and then again against Arkansas, throwing for over 300 yards the first time in his career. He has been magical the last 2 weeks, but he's had a little bit of help up front with his big offensive line. 3 different offensive line combinations. They've gotten the consistency. They've gelled together. Last week we saw him open some big holes for Dexter McCluster.
All right, let's flip the coin a minute and talk about Auburn. This is a team that got the nation's attention with a 5-0 start. They have since lost 3 straight games. A lot of that can go to their offense. 3 straight losses with no offense. If they're going to stop that streak, what do they have to do today?
They've got to generate passing yards, and especially on first down to kind of soften up this Ole Miss defense. Last week, Darvin Adams, Terrell Zachary, 1 catch, a combined 1 catch, 1 yard between their 2 top receivers. That's got to change today against Ole Miss.
Well, Auburn wins the toss. They defer, so Ole Miss will receive. It has been drizzling on and off all morning here in Auburn, Alabama. The field, though, in excellent condition. There is Jesse Grandy, the true freshman, back to return the kick. 11 kickoff returns this year, averaging over 30 yards per return. He's been the main man back on the kickoff return the last 3 games. Morgan Hull will kick it off for the Auburn Tigers. Junior out of Decatur, Alabama. Take it 4 yards deep and bring it out. And he is right. Loose football. Jason King with a big hit. Loose football, and who's got it? They will say Ole Miss retains possession. Whoa, what a scare on Halloween Day for the Ole Miss Rebels.
Boy, did Ole Miss escape right here. They were telling Gandy to stay into the end zone. He decides to bring it out, and Jason King shows up, and you talk about a little adrenaline rush before the game starts. Man, that is SEC football at its best.
Oh, what a hit.
Wow.
And then it just became a wrestling match for the football. Ole Miss won it, but they're backed up just outside the 5. Jevin Sneed, first pass, near side. Shea Hodge caught out near the 13-yard line. Walter McFadden on the coverage. Jevin Sneed off a career high last week. Throwing the football, looked sharp, looked confident, and I think it's the second word that he was missing the first part of this season, confidence.
Yeah, and he played with it last week. He had the 2 uh-ohs and interceptions, but he was able to play through both. Threw one as a Hail Mary before halftime, but boy, did he look sharp moving the ball in the air last week.
Out of the eye, handoff. Bolden. He will take it out over the 15 to the 17. I think that'll be good enough for a first down. Only needed a couple.
Yeah, you'll see a couple of different running backs for Ole Miss, but the main runner, when they line up in that I formation, Brandon Bolden, you'll see McCluster there. You'll see a bunch of different guys. Rodney Scott, Kodera Easton at times, but when they really want to line up and come at you, it's Brandon Bolden.
Now it's McCluster. That tailback of the I formation. Sneed gets it to Bolden. Bolden has plenty of running room to the 40, to midfield. Knocked out of bounds at the Auburn 43-yard line by Darren Bates, but a huge pickup of 42 yards for the Rebels.
Boy, take a look, and what makes this play, what allows Jevin Sneed the time to complete this pass is going to be the block of Dexter McCluster right there out on the end. Right on the end, and it allows for Brandon Bolden to sneak out, get himself into the route, and up the sideline.
Here's McCluster. His first carry gets through the initial line of scrimmage, picks up 7. Josh Bynes, the linebacker, able to bring him down. Last week, McCluster, 29 touches, 260 yards, lined up at 3 different positions, but there's a couple of more that we may see him at today.
Yeah, 29 touches last week is just flat out unbelievable. He's not a big guy, about 170 pounds on his best day.
Yeah, on his best day.
But man, does he play big.
Here's Bolden. He needed about 3. I think he got 3 1/4. That should be good enough for the first down. Tripped up by El Toro Freeman. And Ben Waiters, our referee today, says move the chains. First down, Ole Miss. This Rebel team running the football out of the gates. They're averaging 167 yards a game on the ground. That's 8th in the conference.
With a pass on this first possession. Ole Miss looking pretty sharp.
McCluster off the left side. He's met right at the line of scrimmage. Antonio Coleman, one of 3 blue jerseys in on that tackle. That'll bring up a second down and 9.
All right.
McCluster will be the tailback. Fullback is Andy Hartman. Gerald Harris, the tight end, in motion. Little delay handoff to McCluster. He's got some room. McCluster inside the 20. And Ole Miss inside the red zone. They'll spot it at the 17.5. Mike Slade tripped him up.
Boy, this is what you get when you have a player like Dexter McCluster and you have man-to-man defense on the outside. All it takes is a little bit of a gap, and he's through it and into the second, maybe third level of your defense. Boy, you got to be impressed with this Ole Miss offense. 3 touches already for Dexter McCluster.
Shea Hodge, near side, wide receiver, a guy that like to throw a little fade to. Now he goes in motion. McCluster, the tailback. Snead throws on the run. Pass is incomplete. Looking for Lionel Bro. Second down. Now, Ole Miss in the red zone, second best in terms of overall scoring percentage, almost 96%. They've scored on 22 of 23 opportunities, but their TD percentage is off the charts. First in the conference in that department, 17 TDs in 23 opportunities.
Yeah, that's because of a lot of different things coming together at the right time. You get down inside the 20-yard line, it's time to put touchdowns into the end zone as opposed to field goals. And I think Houston, he gets aggressive down inside the red zone. A lot of coaches will just play for points.
High pass to McCluster. He's trying to get the corner. He's got the first down. It'll be first and goal, Ole Miss. They'll mark it at the 7-yard line. Lionel Bro with a big block on the outside to help McCluster.
Well, I think it was Marquise Summers, the wide receiver out on the edge. Number 16, watch him. You're just going to see heels go up into the air. And boy, I'm telling you what, it was nice. Nice block out in space, turning Walter McFadden on his neck, and that's going to convert and move the first down marker.
Good job by both those receivers on the outside.
Well, you got to have that if you're going to have successful plays that go for big yards. Receivers willing to play unselfish football.
Quick hitter to the fullback. Andy Hartman, touchdown, Ole Miss.
What a drive.
10 plays, backed up at their own 6.
Boy, this play's made because of Jevin Snead, the quarterback. The quick decision right there. As soon as Andy Hartman outflanks the corner or the area outside defender, the ball is in the air so he can catch and turn up the field. And once he does, it's just a nice little waltz into the end zone.
Justin Sparks will hold for Joshua Sheen. Point after is up and good for Andy Hartman, his 4th reception of the year. 3 of them have resulted in touchdowns. What an opening drive and an opening statement by Ole Miss on the road at Auburn. An early 7-0 lead. Jevin Snead and the Ole Miss offense put together a pretty good drive. The man who scored it right there, the fullback Andy Hartman, 10 plays, 94 yards, 4.5 minutes. Snead on that drive, 4 out of 5 for 69 yards.
An excellent decision making on the part of Jevin Snead, getting the football out, and a lot of those passes, timing. If he waits just a second, a defender gets his hands on a football, he's back, he's out, he's read it out, delivering the football on time. That's a recipe for success offensively.
We saw that number. Ole Miss has been good in the first quarter. They've only allowed 3 first-quarter points all season. By the way, that was the longest scoring drive in terms of yards this year by the Rebels. 94 yards. That kick is miserable. Andrew Ritter hit it out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Didn't even have a chance. They'll mark the ball at the 40-yard line for that man who will lead this Auburn offense onto the field. Chris Todd, the senior out of Elizabethtown, Kentucky, completing about 56% of his passes, 12 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, but last week 8 of 14 for 47 yards. Mario Fannin in motion. They'll swing it to Mario right out of the gate. Mario, he is an electrifying playmaker. Mario lost the football at the Ole Miss 40. It trickles out of bounds at the 37. Patrick Trahan slapped it out of his arms, but it will be a 23-yard pickup, and already Auburn in Ole Miss territory.
Well, he's going to come across in motion right here and then kind of bubble back around. And watch Chris Todd right here, eyes down the field so that the blockers up front get a chance to get out in space, get a hand on the body. And Mario Fannin, as good as there is in running the football in open space.
Here's Todd. He will dump it off near side. Eric Smith, he's to the 25 and knocked out of bounds there by Marche Green. Cassius Vaughn And Auburn moving with big chunks of yardage.
Well, when we talked to offensive coordinator Gus Malzahn, said the key to this football game for us is generating passing yards and doing it early. Boy, first 2 plays, 2 passes for Auburn.
Opposite pitch to Fannin. Oh, Kentrell Lockett hanging on, but a flag comes in late, right at the spot of the tackle. But Lockett did a great job on tripping up Mario Fannin.
It's like this may be a hold out on the edge.
Boy, that's what Gene Chizik said yesterday. I think his quote was, "We cannot have stupid penalties."
Well, they listed 3 things they had to do as keys: generate passing yards, limit the turnovers, and then limit penalties. And right there, early penalty when you're having success.
Number 5 on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Gene telling us yesterday that basically, you know, the attitude of the team hasn't changed any. He says, we're not going to go reinvent the wheel. This is what we do. We're going to fight through this. Our guys have had a great week of practice.
Get back to fundamentals. You know, stop making the mistakes that cost you ball games, and off to a pretty good start.
Tate, his first handoff right into the heart of that line, will power his way for about 3 yards. Lockett among the white jerseys in on that tackle. Look at Chris Todd and the difference the first 5 versus the last 3. At what point do you start to question your confidence a little bit, even though coaches say it's not all on him?
No, you know what? And the opponents changed as well. Its schedule got a little tougher the last 3 weeks for Auburn, where you can't just kind of have your way offensively. And a lot of things play into the factor of when a quarterback's going on a little bad spell.
Here's Todd using his feet. Gets it inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line. Now that'll be a couple of yards shy of the first down marker. Jonathan Cornell able to push him out of bounds.
Well, I like the call here by Gus Malzahn. You're just trying to get it to 3rd down and manageable, and got everybody running off a very aggressive defense. Catch him in man-to-man, and nobody in front of the quarterback until he's just about at the first down marker.
Eric Smith and Ben Tate in at tailback. They'll split on each side of Chris Todd on a 3rd down. Let's call it 4. Tough pass to catch for Eric Smith off his left hand. That'll bring up 4th down, and here comes the kicking unit.
Tough pass to come down with. It stayed in the air a little bit too long, and Eric Smith started to get a little nervous. When's it coming? When's the pursuit coming from the backside to get to me as well? But Auburn, I think, a small win on this drive, getting themselves in field goal range to answer points with some points of their own.
36-yard field goal attempt. Wes Byram, 12 out of 13 this year. Sneaks it in the upright. Auburn on the board. They were moving it, and then a holding penalty backed him up. But Auburn will take the 3 on their opening drive, and they've cut the Ole Miss lead to 4. And when we come back to Jordan Hare, Dexter McCluster and the offense will take the field again. Their opening drive was very impressive. Stay with us on the SEC Network. A raucous crowd despite the soggy conditions at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Ole Miss leads 7-3. Dexter McCluster a big part of that opening drive for the Rebels.
Well, they want to feed him early. Best playmaker on the offensive side of the football, and it doesn't take an intelligent coach to figure out. Just get the ball in your best player's hands.
Well, he was fun to watch last week. I mean, he was just thought
electrifying.
Every time he touched it, you thought there was a big play coming up. Once again, the ball falls off the tee, so
he will continue throughout the 60 minutes of this ball game to be a tall order for the Auburn defense. Ted Roof, their defensive coordinator, he's the guy handed the task of slowing down this Ole Miss offense and Dexter McCluster.
Morgan Hole will kick it off again. His first kick went deep into the end zone, and Jesse Grandy returned it. This time, Grandy will take it at the 13-yard line. Jesse bounces off a couple of blue jerseys out to the 35-yard line, and he is slammed to the ground at that spot. Well, that last drive went 94 yards. It was very impressive.
Yes, it was. They mixed the run and the pass. Start out, those swing pass out to Brendan Bolden out in the flat. Then you get it to your best playmaker, and Dexter McCluster. Timing once again, right in stride to Dexter McCluster. Picks up a first down, and a nice little pass to Andy Hartman where he can catch it, turn, and get himself into the end zone. Nice start to this football game for Ole Miss.
To the outside, and Shea Hodge. He gets close to the 45-yard line, and with that gives us a chance to bring in Kara Capuano's down the sidelines today. Kara.
Well, guys, when we talked to Coach Houston Nutt earlier this week, he talked about getting Jevin Snead's confidence going early. Nutt told us if Jevin can get the first 3 completed, he really takes off. And last week, Jevin Snead told us he can't put all the burden on his shoulders. When the offense struggles, it's not always all about him. He's such a team player, and he so badly wants to do well that that's been a problem, but he's getting better at it, guys.
Jevin, 5 out of 6 for 79 yards to start the game. That handoff off the right side, not much happening there. Dexter McCluster brought down by El Toro Freeman.
Yeah, when a quarterback's struggling, there's usually a few factors that come into play. Some on the offensive line, you get dropped passes, running backs missing blocks, and you're having to basically throw the football with someone in your face. It's not entirely all on the quarterback. Now, certainly there are times when you're struggling as a player, but there are a lot of different factors around you that take place and fall right into your performance.
Snead nearly picked off. Nico Thorpe cut right in front of Shea Hodge, and it was nearly intercepted.
Well, that one's just a little bit late on the part of Jevin Snead. Comes off the play fake, and now it's got to be thrown right on time. He waits just a little bit. Right there, the hesitation allows for Nico Thorpe to make a nice break on this football. That one might have gone to the house.
Nico's already collected 1 interception this year.
They had 2 last year. It was an SEC on the SEC All-Freshman team a year ago.
3rd down and 8. Over the middle. That pass should have been intercepted. Josh Bynes let it slip right through his hands, and it'll be 4th down.
Watch the eyes of Jevin Snead here, and in zone coverage is where a quarterback makes his money with his eyes. You have to move defenders. If you stare and you throw it there, somebody's going to make a play on it, and it was almost Josh Bynes, the middle linebacker of Auburn.
Look at Auburn in their first 5 games, and turnover last 3 games -5. That'll help you to an 0-3 mark in those last 3 games. Philip Pierre-Louis back to return this little pooch punt end over end that will hit, and it'll be a touchback.
Could not get his feet down.
They will bring it out to the 20-yard line. Well, time for us to take a look at our impact players, brought to you by Hampton Inn. At Hampton, we love having you here.
Yeah, it's going to ride on the shoulders of Chris Todd. 0 touchdown passes in the last 3 games. He'll have to get that turned around. Ben Tate, he's just the workhorse, for averaging 115 rushing yards a game for Auburn. And then on the defensive side of it, it's the man on the outside, Antonio Coleman, leading the team in sacks with 3.5.
Cody Burns in at quarterback for the first time today. Little razzle-dazzle. Get it to Terrell Zachary trying to get the quarter. Terrell will pick up about 3 before he is run out of bounds.
Did you see the play of big Greg Hardy? 6'5", 275 pounds, and fighting off blocks to force the play a little bit wider by Terrell Zachary, where you get some help. Now, if he comes crashing down inside, now you get the corner a little bit faster, and your other defenders don't help you out. Hardy is a superstar player on the edge for Ole Miss.
Quick hitter to the outside. Darvin Adams with the catch. And Coach Chizik, along with Gus Malzahn, the offensive coordinator, telling us that they need their receivers to be big. They got to help their quarterback. Adams and Zachary, not much of a factor last week. They're also looking for a number 3 guy to step up.
And they're playmakers. You saw Zachary with the end around, and now Adams with that reception. They want to throw on first down. The two only combined 1 reception, 1 yard last week.
Tate tripped up. Good play from Jonathan Cornell, the middle linebacker.
Watch him fire through this hole. Once he sees it, now it's get through and make the tackle. Look at that flash right in the middle of your screen. Number 51. You called his name a few times in last week's ball game.
Flag down. Up top goes Chris Todd. Looking for Zachary. It's incomplete.
Well, it looked like the offensive line stood still. The center just snapped, and everybody else stood there watching.
Offside on the defense. It's only 5 yards. Elementary.
Well, Chris Todd was alert. Decided to try to take a shot down the field. And Coach Houston Nutt, boy, he has done a fabulous job. He's kind of like Gene Chizik. He won his first 5 games of his career. Coach Nutt won his first 8 when he was a head coach at Arkansas. 8 in a row to start your career. That's not bad.
Last week, an emotional win for Coach Nutt, taking down a place he coached for 10 years, Arkansas. And today, it's also some emotions going on. Some of his previous coaches are on this Auburn staff. Todd going up top again. Wide open is Terrell Zachary, and he can't catch it. Cassius Vaughn got beat on the play. I think he might have anticipated some safety help, and it wasn't there.
Well, just a little bit more air under this football and let Terrell Zachary just kind of run under it. You see the coverage get itself mixed up. Kendrick Lewis goes inside with a post route, and it allows for Zachary one-on-one on the outside. He got great position. Now just throw him a catchable football, and he's dancing in the end zone.
On 3rd down, Auburn will spread it out. Cody Burns to the top of your screen. He comes in motion now. Here comes some heat. Auburn picks it up. They'll swing it out to Burns. He makes the catch and slips down at midfield. First down, Auburn.
Excellent athlete, Cody Burns. Boy, watch him right here. Stop and then pivot right back outside. Gets the defense going inside. He stops, goes outside. Nobody along the sideline when he decides to turn it up the field. He is really, really becoming a good receiver for this Auburn offense.
Trying to find some room, nowhere to go. That will go as just a tackle behind the line, no sack, but he loses a couple of yards. Alan Walker, the first man on the spot, the junior, coming up with his first tackle this afternoon.
Second 2-year starter at that position of strong side linebacker. Usually have him playing right over the tight end.
Coaches said last week he was one of their stars defensively, had a great game against Arkansas. 4-man front on 2nd down. Look at Ben Tate, the big fella with a nice move, gets it to the 41. Excellent tackle by Kendrick Lewis in the open field.
Right, kind of one of their unsung heroes, Kendrick Lewis, the team's defensive leader. You better be able to tackle in space when you play against these spread offenses. And Ben Tate right here just bringing the wood, getting downhill in a hurry.
Quick snap to Tate, trying to get that first down on 3rd and 1. Needed to get just inside the 40. I think they're going to spot it just outside the 40. He may be short by a half a yard. Lawan Scott clogging up the middle for Ole Miss.
Man, don't think your screen's running fast at home. This is Gus Malzahn's style. Run as many plays as you possibly can in a football game. He will change tempos throughout this ball game. Speed it up, slow it down. Right now, he's got it on fast forward, Dave.
And they're going to go for it on 4th down and a half a yard. Smith in motion. It's Tate working the right side. Got denied. Jonathan Cornell, the first man on the spot for the Rebels, and the Ole Miss defense stops Auburn on 4th down and short.
Boy, he had an excellent game last week against Arkansas, and it's carrying over today against Auburn. Look at him shoot the gap. and then wait on some help from the outside as well. But reading his keys, and that allows you to play fast and make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage.
Gus Malzahn's high-tempo offense sputtered on that series. Back in a moment.
Down drive.
Thank you very much, Rob. Caleres. Numbers pretty impressive for the young man. But Tony Pike's the real deal. We'll see if he gets back next week.
Well, Brian Kelly just keeps the quarterback on the shelf. One's injured, just take another one off the shelf, plug him in.
That handoff off tackle goes to Rodney Scott, the true freshman. As we continue on with our SEC Network Game of the Week presented by Wrangler. And let's take a look at our Hampton Inn Impact players. Well, Hampton, we love having you here.
It starts with a guy under center, Jevin Sneed, consistent the last couple of weeks for Ole Miss. He's the guy that makes the offense go. And the engine in this offense, Dexter McCluster. Patrick Trahan will have to tackle well in space on the defensive side.
Here's that true freshman Scott again, getting the handoff on second down. Gets about a yard. Boy, last series, Jevin Sneed got away with 2 bad passes that should have been picked off.
That last series, you are exactly right. It looks as though there's a player or two still down.
Wow, Zach Etheridge just laying right on top. Both those guys don't seem to be moving too much. Rodney Scott was the man who carried the football, that true freshman. Zach Etheridge, the junior safety out of Troy, Alabama. That collision didn't look violent from here. Well, Gene Chizik out there on the field in a hurry, along with the medical staff.
And medical staff's taking extra precautions in these situations.
Not a lot of movement in that area right around midfield. Well, we will step aside for a moment and try to get some details on this. Stay with us here on the SEC Network. They continue to work on what looks to be Zach Etheridge. Well, we know it's Zach Etheridge down. Rodney Scott, the tailback, was laying underneath him. He carried the football, and man, that's just awful to see. It is absolutely awful to see that.
Yeah, it's tough on everybody, teammates, coaches, fans, because you're just kind of saying prayers for the young man and hoping everything turns out okay.
So Rodney Scott pops up out of the pile, so he was not hurt. He just happened to be underneath Zach Etheridge. So no worries for Rodney's family at this point, but the concern now directly pointed at Zach Etheridge.
And hopefully they'll take him in for some evaluations and it'll turn out okay.
It's hard to believe there's 80,000 people, over 80,000 inside Jordan-Hare Stadium. I mean, that just makes your heart sink every time you see it. It's awful. Now watch 52. Antonio Coleman, and his head connects with Zach Etheridge. Coleman pops up. Etheridge did not.
And Rodney Scott's just a guy that is underneath, feels the body weight. of Zach Etheridge, and he couldn't get himself up, but hopefully everything will be fine. There's a thumbs up we were hoping to see.
We wish nothing but the absolute best for Zach and his family. And as soon as we get an update, we will pass it along as he is wheeled outside the stadium. It's hard to get your attention back on the field, but that's what we'll do here on a third down situation now. Andre, what does that do to a team?
Well, you're concerned certainly for a teammate and trying to rally yourself back into this football game. It's tough.
McCluster trying to get that first down. He'll do so, run out of bounds. Let's see where they spotted at the 42-yard line by Nico Thorpe, the corner. Dave Neal and Andre Ware, Kara Capuano, glad you could be with us today. But as you look at this, if you're just clicking around and joining us, that's a shot of Zach Etheridge being wheeled into an ambulance after a head-on collision with one of his own teammates just moments ago. In motion, Markeith Summers out of the I formation. Little delay handoff to Dexter. He's got a huge hole off the right side down to the 30-yard line. Give him a gain of 12. Andy Hartman, the fullback, with an excellent block to spring him open for the first down.
Not a big guy, but he doesn't need a lot of room in which to get through, and you'll see it right there. He's into the hole. Nice block by Andy Hartman on the outside, just kicking out, and then right behind it is Dexter McCluster. But boy, can he turn the corner in a hurry.
I mean, you just think it's going to the house every time he touches it. Cuts it back inside, down to the 26-yard line. It is amazing to me, Josh Bynes on that tackle, by the way, Andre, that he didn't touch the ball until about 4 minutes to go in the third quarter 2 weeks ago against UAB.
Right.
We sit down with the coaches last week.
He's going to touch it.
And they said, I mean, the first thing, we didn't even ask the question. Guys, here's what you need to know. McCluster's going to be involved in the offense like you've never seen before.
Where they felt like they had to create opportunities for their best player on offense to touch the football. And they have done one heck of a job in the last 2 weeks of figuring that thing out.
Second down. Snead over the middle. Passes bound in the air. Nearly picked off. Darren Bates, the true freshman out of Olive Branch, Mississippi, not too far from Oxford, nearly had the INT.
Yeah, he was trying to go to Gerald Harris, the tight end, and he gets batted into the air. And Darren Bates, this secondary for Auburn, they're going to kick themselves when the day's over. That's three tipped passes that should have been intercepted, or three where they've had their hands on three that should have gone the other way.
Third down and 6. Snead in the pocket. Off the fingertips of Shea Hodge, and that'll bring up fourth down. Nico Thorpe on the coverage.
And he got good pressure, Auburn did, by Mike Blanc. The defensive tackle, big guy, first-year starter, pushing the pocket right into the face of Jevin Snead. And force a field goal attempt here.
Snead's missed his last 4. He's now 5 out of 10 on the day. Looking at a 44-yard field goal from Joshua Sheen, who was perfect on the year. His long this season is 42. This may not get there.
Well, he seemed a little rushed. And that was way right.
No sink on that kick. And the Auburn defense stands tall. Ole Miss still leads 7-3. Let's send it to our SEC Network studios and Rob Stone. Rob, what do you have?
Well, Dave, number 4 Iowa, 8-0 for the first time in school history, but down 14-0 in the second quarter to Indiana. Ben Chappell, Mitchell Evans, Iowa has trailed in 8 of their 9 games this year, guys.
And Rob, as we look at these BCS standings, I mean, Iowa, Andre, they're sneaking into the big picture here.
Yeah, a lot of people complaining about winning ugly. Well, that's what you got to do this time of year. Doesn't matter if you win ugly or not, you just got to win.
Flag down at the line of scrimmage as Ben Tate takes it out near the 40-yard line. But you see Florida and Alabama still sitting there at 1-2. Texas 7-0 at number 3. Now, of course, USC has a big one today against Oregon in the Pac-10.
That's going to be a great matchup. Oregon playing some of the best football right now in the country after that opening season loss to Boise State.
Getting interesting.
Still have a couple of non-automatic qualifiers in there, and TCU and Boise State undefeated. This could get interesting on Halloween.
So you've been giddy since you got to the stadium today. You just need to slow down.
I was ready for some football, man. It's perfect fall weather.
By the way, illegal motion against the Auburn offense. Backs him up 5 yards. Nullifies that big gain by Tate. He'll try to get some of that back on that carry. He'll give him 4.5 maybe. So he gets bumped out of bounds by Fawn Ingram.
He's a good football player now. Ben Tate, 5'11", 220 pounds.
I think we'll see Ben. I think we'll see Ben at another level.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it. He is averaging 115 rushing yards a game. That ranks him 11th in the country.
Out of the shotgun, here goes Todd over the middle to his tight end Tommy Trott, who drops it. That would have been good enough for a first down. Coverage from Patrick Trahan, the former Auburn player who transferred after some academic issues over to Ole Miss.
Well, this is good timing on the part of Chris Todd. Nice flat route by the tight end Tommy Trott. Now, you just got to catch the football. Well thrown, out in front, finish the play.
I don't think Todd could throw it any better, really. Boy, Tommy Trott's a guy you really want to count on, too. A leader, a senior.
Coming back from an ACL injury. He's close to 100% now.
4-man rush. Todd swings it near side to Tate. Good coverage from the corner. Cassius Vaughn came up to make the play. That'll bring up a 4th down. Once again, a penalty backs up Auburn, slows down any progress they make. And that will be the final play of the opening quarter. Ole Miss went 94 yards on their opening drive to take an early lead. It's an old-fashioned SEC rivalry. The Tigers and the Rebels from Jordan-Hare Stadium. Quarter number 2 coming up. You're looking at Toomer's Corner, the historic location that's tied into the oldest tradition, one of them here at Auburn. The location gets its name from Toomer's Drug Store, which has stood at Toomer's Corner since the late 19th century and is still in operation to this day at its original locale, they say. And I will concur. I haven't had everybody's lemonade, but they've got good lemonade in there now.
Lemonade looked pretty good.
There's a little something special they put in that lemonade. Welcome back to our Wrangler SEC Game of the Week from Jordan-Hare Stadium. We are moments away from the beginning of the second quarter. Ole Miss leads it 7-3 as Auburn gets set to punt it away. Clinton Durst will punt it away. Marche Green stands back at the 40-yard line. End over end kick. Green fields it at the 35. To the 40, nice return out to the 47-yard line. Give him a return of 15. And with that, let's get an update on the injury to Zach Etheridge from Kara.
Well, guys, just talked to the Auburn staff. They are going to take Zach Etheridge to a local hospital to check out his neck injury, but we're very pleased to report he does have feeling and movement in all of his extremities. They're taking him there as a precaution to check out the neck.
Well, that's good to hear. That is good to hear. Number 4 in blue there on the replay. That is good news.
Yes. 4-man front on 1st down and 10. McCluster the single setback. Snead hit the moment he stood up. El Toro Freeman blasted in from the edge. I don't even think Snead saw him until the last second.
Dave, there's a little thing called pre-snap read that gives you an alert that something like this is going to happen. Watch right here, number 21, and how fast he gets to Jevin Snead.
Hello.
And you know it, pre-snap read, everybody kind of starting to crowd the line of scrimmage. Pretty good indicator I'm going to get some blitz.
Here's McCluster, makes a man miss, gets it inside Auburn territory to the 48. Aaron Bates will get credit for the tackle. But you look at El Toro Freeman, interesting story. This is a young man that came here with
That's a good football name.
Some big-time accolades, but he really struggled early. 7 tackles in the first 7 games. Kind of lost his edge, lost his attitude. Matter of fact, it got so bad that Gene Chizik actually didn't take him on the road to Arkansas. He had to come back, apologize to the team, explain the situation, came back, got the start last week at LSU, had a career-high 12 tackles.
I think he got the message.
Snead under pressure again. McCluster rocked at the 45.
Going to be extremely close to a first down, and Craig Stevens, take a look at this. Nice little shallow cross. And you got to have your head on a swivel when you run those shallow crosses. Linebackers, strong safeties, everybody waiting on you.
You know what? Those are the kind of plays that bring a little life back into the stadium right there. 4th down, and Ole Miss will go for it. 4th and 1. Here's Grandy coming around on the toss. He makes a man miss, has the first down inside the 40. Auburn might have had him for a loss, but the elusive true freshman picks up the first down.
Boy, and who said the quarterback can't throw a block? Watch Jevin Snead after the action. He's going to peel around and right back inside. Pick up a nice block right there on Josh Bynes, the middle linebacker.
Here's Bolden inside the 35. Time to head back to the studios and check in with Rob.
Number 4, Iowa down 14-0, but a great drive here. 5 plays, 85 yards, and 220. Brandon Wagger, the 4-yard run. It's now a 7-point affair at Iowa.
Thank you, Rob.
It took him a little while to wake up.
It did. Second down here. Brandon Bolden, the tailback. Hartman, the fullback. Snead rolling near side. He'll take it to the 38, almost the original line of scrimmage. You said Iowa getting off to a slow start, trail 14-0 before that touchdown. One of the reasons could be the fact that they're losing this guy, Adam Robinson, averaging over 5 yards a pop, out for the season after an ankle injury. Well, that's a big cog in their offense.
You see the production as well, the 5 touchdowns to go along with it. That will cause just about anybody to have a slow start to a football game. Iowa will get themselves back into that one before day's end.
Crowd trying to get themselves back into this one. 3rd down and 6 coming up. Snead all day to throw. Hit Grandy right in the hands, and he dropped it.
Boy, he was about to shoot right out the back door and was matched against a linebacker. And young player, freshman, got to catch the football first. But he's got Damon Washington, the corner, actually, in trail technique. And he is well ahead and had the first down had he caught the football.
Ole Miss will take a timeout as a decision is coming. 4th on a 4th down play.
Well, Ted Roof, the defensive coordinator for Auburn, has done a pretty good job of knowing when to bring the pressure to Jevin Snead, and he's gotten there a couple of times, and you could see his body language change just a little bit on this drive.
All season long, Champion Apparel will be showcasing the tradition and history of the SEC, and today we'll take a look at one of the great ones. It's the Flight of Nova, the War Eagle, before the game. You want to talk about a unique event. This is it right here. And then the nosedive straight down. You gotta love that.
That's pretty special.
Yeah. I wonder if
Little treat at the end.
I was gonna say, did Nova say trick or treat? I don't know. Well, here we go. Ole Miss is gonna go for it on 4th down and 6. Bolden and Eason will split outside of Jevin Sneed in the shotgun. At the 45, and he is slow to get up. Antoine Carter. Gene Chizik and his defense put it together on 4th down, coming up with a huge stop. Back in a moment. Ole Miss leading by 4. Jevin Sneed still trying to shake off that last hit. He has struggled since an unbelievable start. 5 out of 6, 79 yards. Now just 1 of his last 8. And he has gotten some pressure, which has caused that 7 misfires of late.
Yeah, and you got to get rid of the football in that instance. What it does is it gives Auburn an even shorter field. So throw the football away, get your defense back on the field, and it saves them about, anywhere from 7 to 10 yards.
Here's Tate. Boy, Ole Miss all over it. 5 white jerseys led by Patrick Trahan. Let's go back to that sack, Andre, and show you what happened. I thought it was good coverage downfield, allowing some guys to get to him.
Excellent coverage down the field, and you watch Jevin Sneed in this instance. As soon as he sees a color of a different kind, right there, 91, throw the football away, get it out of bounds, don't take that sack, and better the field position for Auburn on 1st down. Right there, football should have been gone. You avoid the hit, everything.
Ben Tate, Eric Smith in the backfield along with Chris Todd. Todd, that ball is batted and nearly picked off. I think it was. Lawan Scott tipped it, and it is intercepted. Alan Walker comes up with the deflection, and Ole Miss has it inside the 40.
Well, Lawan Scott's the guy right here. If you can't get to the quarterback, do the next best thing. Get the hands up, jump, and then Alan Walker cradles the hands right under the football. And, boy, this is saving the day for the quarterback. Let's get right back and go back to work.
Well, the play will be under review. We'll need to see if that ball might have touched a little bit of that turf before Walker was able to scoop it up.
Looked like he got his hands under the football on the original replay. But boy, I like the play of Lawan Scott. Big fella, over 300 pounds. Can't get there. Let me see that vertical.
Tell you what, remember once again the phrase is has to be indisputable evidence to overturn the call on the field. So
I don't know if you see it from that angle.
Jonathan Cornell was the other guy that had the football in his hands. Looked like Walker ripped it out of his own guy's possession.
Yeah. Well, Jonathan Cornell, he's been everywhere today.
It is just
I think
hard
it's him that actually makes the interception.
Right. Bad news for Walker that we're replaying this now.
Walker wanted the celebration part of it. Let's see the ball right there, and hands are under.
It is just hard to tell. I don't know that you can definitively say that
that's tough.
It hit the ground. Walker just his body gets in front right before impact, so it's hard to say.
It looks like it's sitting on the forearms of Cornell, the middle linebacker, and then he just kind of cradles and rolls over.
Has to be indisputable, and the call was interception. But now I think we have to give the INT to Cornell, though, instead of Walker.
After further review, video evidence shows the ball hit the ground. Therefore, it's an incomplete pass. It's going to be third down and 14.
And they see the same video that we are seeing, and
Auburn will take it.
yeah, it's that term, indisputable video evidence, and I don't see it there. I see it on his forearms right there.
I don't think you can determine
Walker's
if his
body is in front of the football. I don't know that you see the ball touch the ground.
Obviously, there have been a lot of issues discussed the last month, and just this week, Commissioner Mike Slive got full approval from all the athletic directors and presidents to basically strip away the reprimand from coaches, players, officials commenting, school officials commenting on certain aspects that are derogatory comments about the league and officiating. He has the right now to suspend or fine immediately at his discretion. That has been a hot topic the last couple of days. Here's Ben Tate. Out to the 48-yard line. Johnny Brown brings him down from a safety position.
Well, Johnny Brown tackles is good in space, about as good as there is in the country at that. One-on-one with a runner or wide receiver, and he is just about money in terms of making the tackle. Really felt like last week it was their true test as a secondary against that offense of Arkansas. They passed with flying colors.
Punting situation. Marche Green back to return at the 15. Well, this is a high, good hang time kick. Green calls for a fair catch and will make it at the 12-yard line. Ole Miss thought they had the interception. Short field was in store. The replay officials say otherwise. Back in a moment. And welcome back to the Wrangler SEC Game of the Week. Be sure to stay tuned to see which player is selected as the Wrangler 5-star player of the game. And a happy Halloween to everybody out there. Ole Miss leading Auburn 7-3 on a soggy afternoon at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Dave Neal, Andre Ware, Kara Capuano's down the sidelines. Devin Sneed back under center, one of his last 8 for 5 yards after starting 5 of 6. McCluster is the tailback. Here is Dexter trying to get a couple of blocks to the outside. Out to the 24, making the 25-yard line. First down, a gain of 12 for Dexter McCluster. It seems like such a simple play, Andre.
You know it's coming, but yet you can't stop it, and he has a little stutter step in there where it just gives him enough time to set up an extra block, and then right out of the stutter step, he's back at full speed. Boy, is he a good football player.
Out to the 25. Here's Bolden. Brought down by the middle linebacker, Josh Bynes. Bynes 5th in the conference in tackles, has 4 stops today to give him 71 on the season.
Well, he's just got a knack for the football. Second year as a full-time starter. He finished 5th on the team in tackles a year ago. Solid player in the middle of that Auburn defense.
Second down and 10. Sneed rolls, fires, Hodge. Good catch. He was battling on the outside with Walter McFadden. Those two were banging shoulder pads, and Hodge came up with the grab.
Well, McFadden had about as good a coverage on the play as you could possibly have, right in the hip pocket of Shea Hodge, and sometimes you just got to have the want to and go back and just snatch the football out of the air, which is what Shea Hodge did in that instance. But getting Jevin Sneed a little confidence, a little rollout, and letting him use his athletic ability.
7-3 Ole Miss out in front. 8:36 to go here in the second quarter. Here's McCluster in the Wildcat formation. Takes it out over the 45, falls forward to the 46. Toro Freeman with his 4th stop this afternoon.
They actually refer to it as what, the Wild Rebel formation when he goes back. And well, they like to get the football in his hands, and I see why. He returns results.
7-3. Ole Miss opening drive went 94 yards in 10 plays. Since then, they've been held in check. McCluster out near midfield. Needed to get to the 48 of Auburn for the first down. He'll be a few yards shy. Tripped up by Freeman again.
Yeah, just about 2 yards short. And El Toro Freeman up the field making plays. You mentioned the 12 tackles he had a week ago against LSU. Talented football player.
3rd down and 2 coming up. 7.5 minutes to go. Second quarter.
Big down for Auburn right here. Field position. A lot of things at stake right now.
Pressure comes again. Flags are down. The Ole Miss bench jumping up and down. All I know is Jevin Sneed got hit again. Coleman and Blanc coming in, putting the heat on him.
They're taking some shots. Illegal shift against the Ole Miss offense. And they just kind of look, a little bit out of sync since that first drive, Dave. A lot of penalties. A lot of things going wrong for the Rebels. And if Auburn gets some things going right offensively, gets some consistency in that Gus Malzahn offense, they may take a halftime lead or a lead into halftime.
Having some technical issues here at Auburn on this soggy, rainy afternoon. Apologize for those as Ole Miss gets set to punt it away. Philip Pierre Lewis stands back at the 10-yard line. Tyler Campbell, good snap. Short kick that will hit at the 11. Good coverage. Lionel Bro on the spot for Ole Miss to down it inside the 10-yard line. Boy, this Auburn offense has been struggling today like they have the last 3 games. Only 94 total yards. They will need to get it cranked up when we come back. Auburn defense playing pretty well today. Now the offense needs to get it together. Just 94 total yards as Auburn trails 7-3 to this Ole Miss club, ranked 25th in the latest BCS standings. Dave Hill, Andre Ware, Kara Capuano from Jordan-Hare Stadium. Apologize for some technical difficulties. We'll keep you abreast of all the important numbers like first down and 10 as the ball sits inside the 10 at about the 9.5-yard line. Chris Todd under pressure from Greg Hart. He's going to have to unload and throw it out of bounds. Nice catch over there. I think that was Houston Nutt. Coach Nutt showing some good hands on the far side.
Dropped his play sheet and then came up with a reception. Coach still showing some skills. But nothing really there for Chris Todd in this Auburn offense right now.
Second down and 10 coming up. Inside handoff to Ben Tate. He needed to get to the 20 for the first down. He got stood up at the 18 by Joel Kite, the true freshman linebacker. Kendrick Lewis also in on the play, the safety. As the clock moves, 6:40, 6:39 to go here in the second quarter. It'll be third down and we'll say a long 2.
Didn't quite get the 20, but he did the next best thing, which was to get it to third down and short. And they're about 41% on the season in converting on third downs.
Todd going up top. Has a man. Zachary with the catch at the 40-yard line. Cassius Vaughn on the coverage, but what a grab from Zachary.
Well, it's the throw that wins here. Zachary gets a step behind his defender, and the throw is what makes the play. The throw of Chris Todd right here in stride, where Terrell Zachary does not have to break stride, right over the shoulder. Excellent throwing catch.
A gain of 42. Quickly to the line. It's Ben Tate. He picks up 9. D.T. Shackelford brings him down, but I got to tell you, that was good coverage by Cassius Vaughn on that play. That was just perfect throw.
Ball couldn't have been dropped in any better from Chris Todd. And what do? They step on the gas, quicken the pace, keep you tired.
Here's Tate. Breaks a tackle inside the 30. Look at him still moving. They'll blow the whistle. They'll spot the ball at the 28. First down, Auburn. Vaughn Ingram, Lamarck Armour will get credit for the tackle. And quickly, Ole Miss trying to make some wholesale changes as this up-tempo offense makes it hard to do that.
Yeah, that's the offensive coordinator right there. Gus Malzahn hits you with a big play. He doesn't take long to celebrate. He goes right back to work.
Has a man wide open. Darvin Adams, touchdown Auburn. 28 yards.
Couldn't.
Point after, Wes Byram will step on the field. He drills it through the uprights. And Auburn has taken a lead. What about that drive? 90 yards.
So well defensively that you knew the offense had to start to feel the pressure. And you're going to see the tight end right at the top occupy the safety, which gives the corner route to Darvin Adams. He's wide open. No safety help over the top because they're dealing with the tight end, Tommy Trott. And you talk about a well-designed football play. They protect Chris Todd, give him the time needed. And a couple of underneath crossers occupy the corners and the linebackers. Boy, he couldn't have gotten himself more wide open.
Boy, they were talking about Adams and Zachary, and you've mentioned it last week, were non-existent. Basically, the passing game was non-existent. They needed these guys to be more involved, to make some plays. They need a third guy as well if they really want to be good. But Adams and Zachary on that drive stepped up, made the plays.
Gave the football to Zachary, the first play of the game. Got Adams involved as well. And then the big touchdown pass. We mentioned it. 1 catch for 1 yard combined last week. This drive, 6 plays, 90 yards, in 1 minute 43 seconds. Chris Todd, 2 of 3 for 70 yards. That's how Gus Malzahn likes to do it.
These two clubs have combined to match each other offensively. 184 yards for Auburn, 184 yards for Ole Miss. Here comes the kick. Jesse Grandy will field it at the 1. Grandy out to the 25-yard line with 5:17 to go here before halftime. Time for us to get an update. Let's go to Rob Stone.
All right, Dave, we're going to update you on what's coming up at halftime. Number 4, Iowa in a world of hurt at home, down 14 at the break. Number 8, Cincinnati having a tough one in Syracuse. Plus, we'll preview number 1, Florida taking on Georgia down in Jacksonville. That one coming up at the break.
Thank you very much, Rob. Crowd making some noise now after the 28-yard touchdown pass. Snead, quick throw to Bolden. He's out to the 30-yard line. That'll be a gain of 5. El Toro Freeman in on the tackle. Ole Miss fans, follow Coach Kennedy and the team to San Juan, Puerto Rico for the 3rd annual Puerto Rico Tip-Off. November 19th through the 22nd. Watch the Rebels take on Villanova, Indiana, Georgia Tech, Dayton, and more. For tickets and travel, visit PuertoRicoTipoff.com.
Well, they've gone back to that quick passing game, take a little pressure off the offensive line. They've been getting to Jevin Snead a little bit, getting back all out.
McCluster off the left side. Just a straight handoff, picks up 5, 6, 7 yards. Nick Fairley will get credit for the tackle.
See Jevin Snead here. Let's go back and take a look in the first quarter. His touchdown pass to Andy Hartman. Nice quick set release, getting Andy Hartman into the end zone. Second quarter, it's Chris Todd The last score wide open is Mr. Adams, Darvin Adams. And that gets us to where we are right now, Dave. 10-7, the Auburn Tigers.
Play action. Flags everywhere. Everywhere. Marquise Summers was the intended receiver, but it was pretty apparent that there was a hold in there.
Yeah, they're having some problems right now up front. This Ole Miss offensive line, very active front for Auburn, and it's causing some headaches.
Number 34 on the offense. It's only 10 yards from the previous spot. Down remains 1.
Now you look at it, Dave, 4:03 left here before halftime. And now it's first down and 20. That changes things in terms of field position for Auburn, puts you in a different mindset to get more aggressive, to take advantage of the field position. You hold, and you're going to have a little more time to go down and get some points, or more points of your own. They've got a full complement of timeouts as well. But all 3 timeouts, the Auburn Tigers.
4-man front for Auburn. First down and 20. Over the middle, the cluster is locked again. Boy, Snead's not doing Dexter any favors today. Josh Bynes, the middle linebacker, able to bring him down.
They want to get him touches, but now he's got the attention of all 11 defenders for Auburn. And when he catches it, there's just not a whole lot of room to move around. They are closing around Dexter McCluster. 15 touches so far, 96 yards.
29 for 260 last week. He's still getting his yards.
Oh, he is. You can't shut him down. Forget about it.
Pressure comes. Quick hitter to McCluster, and he dropped it, but that wasn't going anywhere. Coleman came flying in on Snead, and then Jake Ricks was standing right there when McCluster caught it.
Yeah, Jake Ricks was kind of the spy there, waiting on the screen pass, and he kind of felt his offensive lineman really not take a hard pass set, so he peels off to find Dexter McCluster, going nowhere had he caught that football.
It is 3rd and 17.
Boy, and right now, advantage Auburn Tigers. You fought through the first 2 downs of this possession. Come up big right here. You're going to have excellent field position to put together a drive before the half.
Ole Miss will take another timeout. Their second. Crowd sensing a little bit. Auburn on a 3-game skid, but their offense just went 90 yards and brought this crowd back to life. Time now for a look at our Nissan Heisman history moment, and 50 years ago to the day. Ole Miss fans might want to turn your eyes. You've seen this probably enough. Billy Cannon on Halloween night fields the punt. LSU trailing 3-0, but the 4th quarter return from the Heisman Trophy winner, over 80 yards, gives LSU the 7-3 victory. Billy Cannon would go on to win the 1959 Heisman Trophy. You see the numbers from Billy Cannon. Now, later in the year, the 2 clubs would actually meet in the Sugar Bowl. Ole Miss would win that game and win a national championship.
He broke a couple of tackles along the way in that return.
Those 2 teams were ranked number 1 and number 3, one of the most memorable moments and games in SEC history 50 years ago today. Well, here we go. In 2009, 50 years later, 3rd down and 17 for the Rebs. Long way to run for Snead, and he's going to get it. Are you kidding me? A 20-yard pickup. Bolden with a good block to help him pick up the first down.
Boy, some deep zone drops and a couple of missed tackles allowed Jevin Snead to escape. 3rd down and forever. Just take care of business. Keep it in front of you, make a tackle. He picks up a nice block there by the running back, Brandon Bolden, which freed him for the first down. Now, the chess match flips, and it's advantage Ole Miss.
A wild rebel. Another reverse to Snead. He'll throw it back to McCluster. He's going to have to make a man miss. Boy, that was played well by Antonio Coleman. The defensive end didn't bite, spread out, Chase 22, Dexter McCluster to the sideline.
Well, they were trying to get Marquise Summers open, and I think Jevin Sneed did an outstanding job of just getting rid of the football. They read this perfectly, and he's going to get hit had he turned back and gone down the field. He also had Brandon Bolden sneaking down the sideline, but just did not have the time necessary to get the football away.
Well, that was big-time play from Coleman, your defensive end. Not only to get out there, but then make a play on the diminutive McCluster. Here's Dexter now. He makes a guy miss. He's trying to get a block. Dives down at the 42-yard line. He'll be a 1.5 yards shy. Darren Bates, the first man on the spot for Auburn.
Boy, he can just flat out make you look foolish in the film room. Watch this right there. You think you have him, Josh Bynes? No, you don't. Then right there, that little subtle cut, that'll give him about 3 to 4 yards. Just put that foot in the ground and get up the field. That is scary to a defender. Coming at you full speed. I got him. Excuse me, no, I don't.
Rodney Scott in at tailback. He will get the football. Bust through the line to the 35-yard line. Now, Ole Miss only one timeout left. Minute 26 on the clock.
Thinking points here if you're Houston Nutt and this Ole Miss football team, this offense. And he loves Rodney Scott, freshman, 5'8", 195, kind of that built that low center of gravity. You start talking about Rodney Scott and Jesse Grandy, it brings a smile to the face of the head coach of the Ole Miss Rebels.
And 1st and 10. Here's Sneed now. He's going up top. He's looking for Summers. That's incomplete. Now, Andre, let's go back. Let's rewind 7 days. Ole Miss in the same situation last week against Arkansas in a 1.5 minute situation, trying to get some points on the board, and it turned into a debacle.
Had a lead going into halftime and really we played cautious offensively going down before the half. Here, it's a little bit different monster. You're trailing by 3 points. A field goal would tie it up going into halftime. So he's a little bit more aggressive this week in his approach because he's trailing going into the half.
Houston Nutt said his mama a little upset with that 2-minute drill as well when we talked to him this
Mama
week.
had some questions for him after the game.
Here's Pin Wagers.
Prior to the snap, false start, 78 on the offense. Penalty 5 yards, down remains second.
Boy, you hear me say it all the time. Coaches can live with effort penalties. When the ball's snapped and everything's going, you have a penalty, and that's an effort penalty. You can live with those. But when it takes place before the ball's even put in play, especially in a situation like this, and you're going down trying to get points, those are the penalties that drive coaches crazy. Quarterbacks too. You get a guy back in the huddle. Hey, what are you doing? This is an important part of the game.
They might add a few seconds on this clock, and that might be the discussion.
Please place 1 minute, 3 seconds on the game clock. 1:03.
You know, if it was one of those big grunts up front, I'd just tell them, you know better. Especially if it's one of the upperclassmen. You know better. You know what we're trying to do here. And, they feel bad enough. You don't need to beat on them too bad.
And they're going to get chewed out.
Just a little reminder, you know better than to jump.
Here comes the 10th play of this drive on a 2nd down and 15. Not much happening. Nick Fairley in on the tackle. See Dexter getting a little frustrated.
Well, you say just 5 yards, but man, it just takes you out of field goal range. The playbook changes because now you put your team in a position of 3rd down and super long, third and Auburn right now for the Ole Miss Rebels.
Clock winding down to 23 seconds, 22 seconds. Sneed, boy, he has some time. Throwing, wide open, Hodge, great catch, lost the football. They'll say incomplete. Incomplete pass. DeMond Washington came up with the football but ruled incomplete with 8 seconds to go before halftime.
Boy, he had him open too. Had a post route over the top that cleared out the corner route. And Walter McFadden, you talk about putting your hand right on the football. I don't know. It's a
Ooh, he tucked it. I tell you what,
that kind of looked like a catch, a football move to tuck it away. And I mean, the replay officials might have to take a look at this one. That looks like a catch, a tuck, a move towards, move up the field, and then the football gets hit and it comes out. I think this may be
30 seconds. Timeout.
You got to take a look at this one.
That's the timeout here is to buy a few extra seconds.
And, of course, Damon Washington comes up with the fumble recovery. So no question there as to who would have the football. But take a look at this. Nice play action fake. Route is well designed. A post to open up a corner. And right there, the ball's tucked, put away. I thought football move. He's getting ready to make the next move on the defender. And the defender actually zeroed in on him. There's the catch, tucked away. I think it's a fumble.
And part of the new, I don't want to say a rule, but the officials were instructed this year to allow maybe an extra beat if there is a situation like that to see what would happen if it's a fumble. And if the whistle does blow, if the next football move recovers the football, they would actually,
which it did in that instance,
would give the ball to the guy who recovered it. 4th down and 16. You just heave it to the end zone, perhaps. Trying to get that first down the far side to Shea Hodge with 3 seconds on the clock. So that'll turn it over on downs. Now, there were only 8 seconds on the clock. It's not like Auburn would have had a great chance to do anything with
football.
Come on,
ask me. I'm waiting on you to ask me, my friend.
So Auburn will have it with 3 seconds left.
I want to know what you want to know from me. Just ask. You know my philosophy. There's never too many points in the first half of a football game.
You got to get the points on the board.
I would drop back and sling this baby to the goal line right now. But Auburn's going to take a knee and go in, but I would try it.
What do you got to lose?
What do you have to lose?
Well, Auburn will take the lead in the locker room. 10-7. Chris Todd, 7 out of 12, $125. It was the last drive that produced points where he really got it going. Jevin Sneed on the opening drive of the game got it going. But since then, it was quiet. Let's check in with Kara.
Well, I'm with Coach Chizik, guys, and the Ole Miss Rebels deliberately drove that first possession, and then the Tigers' defense locked down. What changed, Coach?
Well, I was really proud, Kara, of our guys. At first, we were kind of out of sorts the first drive there. We just needed to settle down and play. We finally kind of got the rhythm of what they're doing. We settled down, and we've been playing defense ever since.
I know on offense, the goal was to generate passing yards and get better balance. How would you grade that effort?
Well, we're kind of 50-50 on that right now. We need some more big plays like the one that got us in to score. We're a little inconsistent. Penalties still got us early that we talked about. We just got to be more consistent what we do offensively.
I'll let you go talk to the guys. Thanks, Coach. Dave?
All right, Kara, thank you very much. A very calm, cool, and collected Gene Chizik will take a 3-point lead into the locker room. The reason they have the 3-point lead, Chris Todd to Darvin Adams. Let's go to Rob Stone in the studio for the Sailor South Halftime Report. And welcome back to our Wrangler Game of the Week right here on the SEC Network. And that's been Auburn's mantra, whatever it takes. And early on, it did not look good, but Auburn takes the 10-7 halftime lead here at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Dave Neal back alongside my partner, Andre Ware. Glad you could be with us. And Andre, the opening drive, 94 yards, 10 plays. Ole Miss looked like world beaters, almost just a continuation of last week.
Right.
Then they became null and void offensively. What happened?
You got to credit defensive coordinator Ted Roof, who came up with an outstanding plan, made some adjustments in game before they even got to halftime, got to Jevin Jevin Sneed with the pressure when Ole Miss didn't really expect it. They've got a spy on Dexter McCluster right now, and you spin it forward going into this half. I think more of the same you're going to get from Auburn defensively, and then the offense cranked up at just the right time to give them a halftime lead.
Yeah, Auburn went on a 90-yard drive to score their touchdown to give them this 3-point lead. So obviously a second half, a lot to play for. Ole Miss trying to keep pace in the West in terms of a big-time bowl game. You know, they've kind of put it together last week. They don't want to lose that momentum. Meanwhile, this Auburn team trying to snap their 3-game losing streak. Auburn will get the ball to start the second half. Damon Washington takes it out near the 25-yard line. Take a look at our Crystal first half stats brought to you by Crystal. Nothing like it. Look at the time of possession. Almost 20 minutes in the first half for Ole Miss. Certainly a touchdown.
Yeah, certainly different for Auburn as well. And the passing yards and the rushing yards really have taken a turn when you compare them to the last couple of weeks. They've been able to run the football but not able to throw it. Chris Todd did a nice job in the first half of this one, and they're going to need more of the same, maybe a little bit more, in order to come out of this one.
Chris Todd only 47 yards passing against LSU, but 125 in the first half. Here's Ben Tate. They'll ride his shoulders. Flag comes down at the 28-yard line, and then another one comes in late after the play, well after the play, on that Auburn bench. Ben Wagers, our referee today.
And Tate had a nice stiff arm working, but it was to the face mask of one of the Ole Miss defenders. That might be the first flag, and then maybe a late hit out of bounds, the second one. So wait to get the official word here.
Paul Patrisco talking to Penn Wagers to get these calls correct. You know, it's one of those things, that stiff arm, you can put your hand on the mask, but the second you bend those fingers,
yep,
it's a face mask.
It's hard not to bend the fingers, though. You control it a little bit better when you bend the fingers.
Personal foul. Last one, the face mask. Number 44. Then it'll be half the distance to the goal. After the play is over, personal foul on the defense. Number 20, 15-yard penalty. It's a first down because of the personal foul. It will be a personal foul. First down.
All right, well, let's look at the first violation.
Yeah, it's Ben Tate working against Johnny Brown, and you see the face mask right there. And then the whistles are sounding right about there, and he just continues with it. And the shove, that little shove at the end is what draws the flag of the line judge.
So they move him back for the face mask, and they move him forward for the 15-yard.
We'll get right back to where we were.
And we're back to first down. Here's Mario Fannin. Fannin trying to get the corner. Johnny Brown there, along with Cassius Vaughn to bring him down. You know, we saw Mario Fannin early get his hands on the football. Coaches telling us yesterday, Gus Malzahn and Gene Chizik, that he's a guy to playmaker. We got to get him the football. With McCaleb out, Ontario McCaleb with a sprained ankle, not getting any action today, they said he would be more of a factor, but we really didn't see him much in the second quarter. Seeing him quite a bit now, 2 carries in a row. That time he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but a flag down at the 31-yard line. While we got a second, let's go downstairs, check in with Kara.
Well, guys, talked to Coach Houston Nutt, and he was really hyper-focused on the breakdown on that touchdown pass by Auburn. He said it was a complete defensive breakdown. Right now, the message to his team, stop beating yourselves. They're doing little things to take themselves out of the ball game, and Coach is upset about it.
Well, that's a good message because they'd have a drive going, Dave, and you know, we're sitting here looking at penalty yards and penalties backing them up behind the chains, making it extra tough to convert first downs and move the football.
That penalty against Auburn, illegal shift. Back them up 5, third down and 9. Pump fakes. Throws deep, looking for Zachary, and it's knocked down at at the 28-yard line. Cassius Vaughn along with Kendrick Lewis in double coverage.
And it's excellent job by Zachary of going up and turning defender to knock this football away, because he's throwing into double coverage, a two-deep look with safety help from Kendrick Lewis over the top, and he is in the right position to make a play here. And you're going to see him go up just to kind of bat the football away from both defenders. Dangerous pass by Chris Todd.
Clinton Durst to punt it away to Marche Green.
Good punt.
Tight spiral sends Green backpedaling. He will let it go at the 15. What a kick from Clinton Durst, who's punted in the last 3 games 21 times. He has been a busy man. That one goes for 53 yards. Well, we talked about it at the open of the show. The SEC West standings, and Ole Miss needs a miracle if they want to capture a West crown. Alabama already at 5-0, taking a little bit of break right now, but Ole Miss still playing for a big-time bowl game. I mean, there's still a lot of options out there, potential Cotton Bowl berth at stake.
Still a lot of football to be played.
In both these teams, the winner of this one walks out of here bowl eligible.
Yeah.
McCluster running hard, picks up 7, brought down by Darren Bates.
Boy, he does not run the football like a player built 5'9", 170 pounds between the tackles. He's looking for some contact. Little fella going between the tackles in the forest there among the trees. Tough football player.
Second down. Here's McCluster. Nowhere to run. Antonio Coleman, the senior out of Mobile, Alabama, and Jake Ricks combined on that stop. Boy, talking to the coaches, the Ole Miss coaches this week, I said, what stands out about their defense? And they right away went to 52.
Yeah, he's special, Dave. Special player up front, quiet leader. He's their best pass rusher, was second team All-SEC last year, and he's got next level type talent.
Third down and 3. Quick hitter, incomplete. Looking for Shea Hodge. Defended by Walt McFadden. That'll bring up a 4th down. And I got to tip my cap to this Auburn defense. Since that opening drive, they have tightened the screws big time on the Rebels.
Ted Roof has been outstanding. Their defensive coordinator calling this game for Auburn defensively. Made the necessary adjustments after that first drive, and he has basically frustrated Jevin Sneed from that point on. And he's getting pressure with just the 4 guys up front. That could make for a long second half.
Pressure on Tyler Campbell, but he gets it away. Not much on the return. Alan Walker with a good special teams tackle. Ben Tate, who's having a tremendous season, will hit the field again for the Auburn Tigers, trying to generate just a few more points. It is Halloween, in case you forgot. There'll be some trick-or-treating at the Neal household tonight. I got to get home. Give me some candy. It's the one time of the year my wife lets me have some candy. 10-7 our score. Welcome back to the regular SEC Game of the Week. Ben Tate, 48 yards on the ground, averaging 4 yards a pop. Andre, assess him today.
He's been fantastic, running the ball physically. Nice game.
Going up top, looking for Zachary. He made the catch at the 20-yard line. Another exceptional grab from Terrell Zachary. Cassius Vaughn on the coverage was in his hip pocket once again.
When it looked like Kendrick Lewis had help over the top. And right away, Gus Malzahn, you hit him with a big play, get to the football, and get another one run. But excellent play by Zachary.
Quick hitter again. Here's Tate, makes a man miss. Runs over another Kendrick Lewis inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal Auburn.
Well, and a lot of running backs. Some of them it takes a nice move and the shaking of a defender. With Tate, it's bringing that big physical body into someone else's living room. Boy, he's having fun.
Early movement by Auburn. That offensive line, somebody on the left side got a head start.
Loves the contact, Ben Tate.
Prior to the snap, false start, 66 on the offense, only 5 yards. Now remains.
Well, here it is. Chris Todd with time going down the field. Gets behind the safety and in front of the corner. And Terrell Zachary right there. Just body position. Now adjust to the football. And, well, that's a nice grab.
You know what I've noticed about Gus Malzahn is he gets a big play, and he is to the line and
right to the football.
And, I mean, you talk about hurry up.
Wants to catch the defense, kind of feeling sorry for themselves.
Cody Burns in at quarterback. He'll take the direct snap and will loft it up in the end zone looking for Tommy Trott. Touchdown, Auburn.
Dave Cassius Vaughn's having one of those nightmare games for a secondary player right now.
Clayton Crowfoot will hold for Wes Byram. It's up and good. How about the Auburn Tigers? Cody Burns, that's not exactly the form you teach in quarterback camp. Off the back foot, but he gets it to the man, Tommy Trott. Touchdown, Auburn. Auburn leading Ole Miss 17-7. The Tigers on a 3-game skid, but you wouldn't know it by the way they played here today, specifically defensively, but now their offense is picking up as well. Only 35 seconds to go 61 yards.
How about this thing we call football? Just when you think you got it figured out, the Ole Miss Rebels look like they're ready to turn the corner last week against the Razorbacks. It is a tough, tough way to make a living in the SEC.
It is brutal. This time, the true freshman Jesse Grandy will take a knee, and Ole Miss will bring it out to the 20-yard line. Let's go back to that touchdown, Andre.
Let's take a look at it. You're going to look at Cassius Vaughn right here, the defender. The motion and the action gets his attention. The short roll, you're going to get pressure, but right here, Tommy Trott going to sneak his way out, and he gets behind everybody else. And right into the back of the end zone to the tight end. You get occupied. You see the pressure right in his face from Alan Walker. Does a good job of just kind of fading away, little fadeaway jumper to the tight end.
Short throw looking for Marquise Summers. Let's say it was picked, batted in the air and picked off. Will McFadden. Touchdown, Auburn. Oh, my. This play will be reviewed. If it holds up, it is the 3rd interception of the season for Walter McFadden.
What a turn of events. Devin Snead thinking he's just going to throw one out here. Nice little quick hitch route. He skips it out, and his receiver, Marquise Summers, trying to go under it and pick and actually grab the football. Tips it up and into the air. And Walter McFadden, it's under the ball, gets tipped. A heads-up play by Walter McFadden. You see it here, hands are under it, the ball gets tipped in the air. Play to the whistle, stays inbounds and returns it for a touchdown. Excellent heads-up play by Walter McFadden.
From our angle, it looked like it short-hopped. Summers on the far side, but that review.
So in a sense, you kind of wish it would have skipped if you're Ole Miss.
And now I think the other thing they're taking a close look at is, did he step out of bounds? And he was very, very close.
The right hand actually tips the ball into the air. Now watch the feet.
Be hard to see.
Kind of lose it there. Indisputable video evidence are the words used. That looks to me like a tip. That looks like an interception. Feet are in. Touchdown. Right there. Spins around. Both feet are in.
Okay. Andre, we're 0 for 1 today now.
I think we're
going to go 500 right here.
We're 1 for 2 right now. We're going to be 500.
After review, ruling on the field is confirmed. Interception, touchdown.
When it rains, it pours. And right now, nothing going right for the Ole Miss Rebels.
And not a good place for Jevin Sneed in terms of his team down. At this point in the game, he's a kid that'll put an enormous amount of pressure on himself. And you got to really see how he's going to handle it.
Point after up and good from West Byram, and it is now 24-7 in less than 4 minutes. Auburn has scored twice here in the opening half, and you see the look of the Rebels. They can't believe it. Well, we can believe this. We're going to the studios right now to get another update from our man Rob Stone. Rob.
The guys, Auburn turning it up. Ditto for number 8 Cincinnati. Zach Caleros to Adrian Robinson. Caleros 22 of 26, 295 yards, and 4 touchdowns. They're up 21.
All right, thank you, Rob. Tell you what, Cincinnati looking strong, even without Tony Pike putting it on Syracuse. But Houston Nutt right now trying to figure out how we can get this offense going. It's been all Auburn since about 4 minutes to go in the
They took that
first
opening
half.
kickoff down, and Ole Miss has kind of been searching for answers offensively ever since. And I asked Ted Roof yesterday, I said, have you and Houston Nutt met before? You try to get some inside information of how a coach played another guy in the past. Said, no, this is their first meeting, as defensive coordinator to head coach play caller. And right now, I got to believe the advantage is Ted Roof here early in the third quarter.
This is a short kick. Randy will field it at the 16-yard line. Dropped at the 31-yard line. Well, if you just joined us moments ago, here's kind of the story of late.
Well, they go with Cody Burns at quarterback. He's able to find the big tight end Tommy Trott for the touchdown, and the tip by Marquise Summers. It's picked off by Walter McFadden. And in just a click of a finger, 14 unanswered points were scored by the Auburn Tigers to bring this game to 24-7.
It's actually 24 straight by Auburn after trailing 7-0. Here's McCluster. Dexter puts it out to the 35-yard line. But it's been a defensive story for Auburn today. Their offense putting up some points too now, but this has been all about this Auburn defense, I think, this afternoon. And you see the last 3 games during that 3-game skid, -5 in the turnover department. Today, they're +1.
Keep in mind, they've had their hand. That was the one interception. It was returned for a touchdown. They had their hands on 3 other ones earlier in the game.
Clearly should have been interceptions, and they just couldn't corral it. Second down. Here's Bolden, nowhere to go. El Toro Freeman among the blue jerseys, in to make the tackle along with Mike Blanc.
Well, I'm anxious to see the body language of Jevin Sneed, how he handles this. Junior quarterback, a lot of accolades passed out before the season. Had a fine year last year, but he is kind of in uncharted waters right now.
Those last 7, 1 out of 7. He got off. He was 5 for 6 for 79 yards and a touchdown to start the game. Sneed, a hold in the middle, wide open is Shea Hodge. Hodge to midfield and drop there. That'll be a first down, but I don't think it will matter.
Now standing in, fighting, that's what you want to see out of your quarterback, but this one's coming back. Nothing going right now, Dave, for the Ole Miss Rebels.
You said it earlier.
Holding. Number 63 on the offense. Penalty 10 yards from the previous spot. Down remains third.
I think this is why this is the toughest league in America, because just when you think you've got it figured out, they're coming in here red hot. Back-to-back games of 500 yards of offense. A team they're facing has lost 3 in a row. They can't move the football. Now it's 24-7. You're down.
I don't care if it's Ole Miss, Auburn, Kentucky, Vanderbilt. You get about 3 weeks into that SEC schedule, and anybody on any given Saturday, they can get you.
Timeout. Ole Miss.
Ole Miss
First
will
timeout of the half.
take that timeout. Houston not going to try to calm these guys down. You know, he's had some great results when he brought some Arkansas teams in here that kind of shocked the world a couple of times. Time to take a look at our scholar athletes. We'd like to recognize Dave Run-Geralds from Ole Miss and Tommy Trott from Auburn as our SEC Network Scholar Athletes of the game. ESPN Regional Television will contribute $1,000 to Ole Miss and Auburn's general scholarship funds on their behalf. Congratulations to both of those gentlemen. There's Tommy right there, big man. He dropped one early, but he certainly responded with a TD catch moments ago.
Yeah, wide open in the back of the end zone. He's just thinking, hurry up and get here. Get both feet down, and nice catch by Tommy Trott. Boy, I like the effort as well by Cody Burns. Got right in his face. Had to we described it earlier as kind of a fadeaway jumper.
Yes, it was. Nothing but net.
From the corner.
Yeah, your Mavericks put one on the Lakers last night. Now you're all
watched every bit of it.
Now I know why you were all jacked up this morning.
I watched every bit of it.
Third down. Pressure coming. Skinny. Drop back at the 17. He'll get it out to the 20. And who else but Antonio Coleman?
Ladies and gentlemen, this looked like it was going to be Ole Miss on Halloween coming into Auburn, Alabama, that first drive. And boy, has this taken a turn. Look at Coleman turn the corner against the youngster Bradley Soule, the left tackle. It has been all Auburn since the first drive of the game.
Boy, Auburn nearly got a piece of that. Philip Pierre Lewis will make the catch and spot at the 33-yard line. 24-7, Auburn out in front. Gives us a chance to check in once again with Kara.
Well, guys, yesterday when we talked to Auburn coach Gene Chizik, we asked him to name us some players who mirror the coaching philosophy of the new coaches, guys that he's inherited that he feels completely support the new staff. Tommy Trott was the first person he mentioned. Antonio Coleman just had the big hit. And Walt McFadden, who had the interception run back for a touchdown. I think it's very interesting, Andre, that those guys have had huge contributions.
Here's Ben Tate. Nothing happening for Ben. Working the right side. Kentrell Lockett, first man there.
Yeah, you know, they feel the pulse of the coach and how he wants things run. You know, 3 players that he talked about have that same work ethic that Coach Chizik has. And you know what? He knows that they know how he wants things done, which transfers into the entire group of players. So, you know, every coach, I think, has a group of players like that, and they've responded well in his first year.
Stallworth out at the 47-yard line. Jeremy McGee pushes him out of bounds. But Stallworth getting in on the action, the true freshman.
Well, a little end around right here. And you'll see him this is just all speed. Turn the corner and get as much as you possibly can. Right now, everything working for Gus Malzahn.
268 yards of offense to this point. Here's some more. Ben Tate. Tate turns the corner. Tate down the sidelines. He will score. Wes Byram trying to make it 31 Auburn points. And he does. Man, oh man. How did Auburn lose 3 straight games? They couldn't move the football. You would never know it if you saw him play today. Ben Tate with his 6th rushing touchdown. It's all Auburn.
Stanzi, the quarterback for Iowa, has thrown 5 interceptions, but here he redeems himself partially. Marvin McNutt takes it 92 yards for the score. Despite 6 Hawkeye turnovers, they are down now only 3.
Thank you very much, Rob. The crowd jumping and moving. They are hopping because their Auburn Tigers lead it 31-7. And here's a number. That's good news for Auburn, bad news for Ole Miss. Tigers have won 53 straight when they score 30-plus points.
That's amazing. 53 straight wins when they score 30 or more. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? They're at 31 right now.
By the way, Ben Tate has hit 3,000 yards in his career after that touchdown run. Here's Grandy. He's got room! Jesse Grandy being chased by Nico Thorpe, and he won't be caught. Touchdown, Ole Miss. Welcome back, Rebels.
That's how you respond right there. A house call. Well, we mentioned it earlier. Houston Nutt loves him as a football player. Just 5'10", 155 pounds, but boy, is Jesse Grandy electric.
The true freshman, nearly untouched. Joshua Sheen will come in to attempt the point after. Kick is up, and it's good. Jesse Grandy, the true freshman out of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, just 3 weeks ago became the regular return man. He's been averaging over 30 yards a return, and he brings it the distance.
And at that time, the only reason why he wasn't ranked in the nation is he didn't have enough returns. But here, just finding a nice little crease and then the speed right there. Once you get to the kicker, it is speed, speed, speed. And he outruns everyone on that Auburn kickoff team to the end zone. Houston Nutt, he likes that. That's how you get back in a football game.
That'd have been a touchdown and 2-hand touch.
I don't think anybody got a hand on it.
I don't think they did either.
Let's go back and take a look at the Ben Tate touchdown run. It was the action of Stallworth before, the end around, this action right here coming into your screen. You're going to get some great blocks by Eric Smith, Darvin Adams on the outside, Buran Ezem on the and from the interior, the right guard, and then everybody just kind of contributing to that one.
Ben Tate will get back to work in a moment. Look at the third quarter numbers. I mean, 138-7 in total yards.
Yet they're right in the football game. That score right there. And you pretty much have your way if you're Auburn and you don't respond with some type of score if you're Ole Miss. But they are right back in the football game. A lot of time left.
They're going to have to find a way to slow down Auburn. They haven't been able to do that here in the third quarter. And on Washington, along with Mario Fan, back to return the kick. This will go to Washington, just outside the 5-yard line. Washington. Here's DeMond. Back to the 40-yard line. Good return for DeMond Washington. 35 on the return. Lamar Brumfield finally brings him down. But here's third quarter scoring.
Well, you get the touchdown pass to Tommy Trott from Cody Burns. The interception return by Walter McFadden. And then the big Ben Tate run, 58 yards down the sideline. Then Grandy comes right back. Jesse Grandy with a kickoff return of his own. 82 yards to the house. Jesse Grandy We're right back in the football game.
Randy's a guy that you mentioned the coaches are high about. They're just trying to kind of give him a little bit each week, give him a little bit more. Here's Tate, makes a man miss. Took a no-gainer into about a 3-yard pickup.
That's the same play they ran. He hit the 58-yarder for it. They bring Stallworth around in motion, get you thinking the end around, and try to slip Ben Tate underneath. And why not? He goes for a touchdown run the play before. I go right back to it myself.
11th in the country in rushing, averaging 115 yards a game. That's exactly what he has right now. Needed 112 today to touch 3,000 in his career. He's 5th all-time rushing at Auburn, and they've had some outstanding tailbacks. That's an elite group he is amongst now. Pressure comes, trying to set up a little bit of a screen. Ben Tate couldn't get out of that pile of jerseys. Lawan Scott bringing the heat on the quarterback, but it was Jarrell Poe on the outside along with Marcus Tillman that bottled up Ben Tate.
Marcus Tillman's played a lot of football, 4-year starter at that defensive end position, and he knows when a guy's taking a set for a pass to be called, or when you're trying to run a screen. And he figured it out, and knowing that Ben Tate was the guy being screened to.
Well, you're asking a lot of the Ole Miss D-line to make some changes in this hurry-up tempo that Auburn brings to the table. You're asking these 300-pounders to sprint 40 yards off the field every time. Todd just throws it out of bounds, looking for Zachary. Incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down. So Ole Miss got the defensive stand that they needed.
Boy, Tyrone Nix dialed up the right formula right there and got himself a 3 and out. Ole Miss with a chance to draw a little bit closer.
This Ole Miss defense, 3rd in the conference, allowing 13.5 points per game, 9th in the country, but today they've given up 31, albeit one of those off an interception. Marshae Green catches and gets popped at the 20-yard line. Good special teams work. Josh Harris, the deep snapper, the first man down the field to make the spot. Well, celebrating its 5th year sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets, Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds for each field goal and extra point kick. To date, Allstate has contributed more than $1.9 million in scholarship monies. All right, Andre, this Ole Miss offense has been stuck in the mud for a long time now. How did they get it going?
Well, I think it starts up front with that offensive line. They've got to protect Jevin Sneed, one of his last 7 for 2 yards.
Here's McCluster. He's got all day to run. Nobody will catch the speedy McCluster. Touchdown, Ole Miss. There are no flags. 79 yards.
Well, Dave, this is a game built on big plays.
Jeez, this is crazy.
Forget about all that other nonsense I said. Just give it to 22. That's how you get back in the football game. Man.
This is absolutely bizarre, and it gets even more bizarre. Could this be returned for 2 points? DeMond Washington will take it back. And it gets crazier and crazier.
You talk about an emotional roller coaster right now. Houston Nutt is on one, as well as Gene Chizik. Just sick to your stomach. You gave up the 79-yard touchdown run, but that soothes it and makes it a little bit better.
Andre, you and I, you've played in 1,000 football games or more. I've called a ton of them. You've called. I don't don't know that I have ever seen a quarter of football like this.
I've never seen anything go back and forth this fast before. I've seen comebacks that happen, and you know, the momentum changes in a game. One team clearly dominates, and then all of a sudden you have a team buried and done with, and then all of a sudden they come back. But just the emotional roller coaster, you're going back and forth. This is unbelievable, and I'm glad we're a part of it.
23-13 is our score in the third quarter with 6 minutes left. 23-13 in this quarter. It is compared to what we saw in the first half, there wasn't any offense to speak of.
Plenty of it here in the second half.
You know, you're going to look back, that 2 points. That 2 points could be a deciding factor in this game.
Yes, sir.
Ole Miss trying to make it a 10-point game. The next thing you know, they're down 13. Fannin along with Philip Pierre-Louis back to return the kick. They're both standing around the 5-yard line. It's Pierre-Louis to the 20. He's dragged down to the 28-yard line. While we can tell you what, let's just catch our breath for a moment. Send it to our studios. Rob, what do you got? Help us out.
Hey, Dave, things just as crazy in Iowa City. Ricky Stanzi to Marvin McNutt for 92-yard score, and then on the next possession, Stanzi to Darrell Johnson Koulianis for 66 yards. Iowa, despite 6 turnovers, has their first lead of the day.
I guess crazy things happen on Halloween.
It is just a strange day. I don't even. It's hard to even describe what we've seen here in the third quarter. There's Ben Tate out to the 30. Well, here's a look at Dexter McCluster going 79 yards.
Well, he gets a nice block from his fullback out on the edge, Andy Hartman. And that just kind of paved the way to a nice long touchdown run of 79 yards. And you're setting up to kick the field goal or the extra point, and then Auburn takes it back for the 2 points.
Cluster with 176 yards on the ground. A little razzle-dazzle. Todd just throws it up with a comebacker looking for Zachary. Incomplete. So after that 79-yard run, here's what happened on the blocked extra point. DeMond Washington would scoop it up. Walt McFadden will be his escort as he goes the other way for a 2-point conversion. Houston Nutt can't believe it. And whatever momentum you just gained on the McCluster touchdown, you might have lost a little bit of that.
Yeah, then you got to turn around and kick the football back off to Auburn. Here they go again. But Tyrone Nix got him in where he wants him, 3rd down and long.
And flags. Timeout. Gus Malzahn right in the ear.
Timeout. Auburn.
Of our official.
30-second timeout.
30-second timeout. Well, we knew this would be kind of a game that Auburn had to bring it, or they might lose the season. They came into this game losing 3 in a row. Ole Miss was playing well, but Ole Miss found another gear today, Andre.
Well, it really did. I like the resiliency of Ole Miss. You know, you're down, you're just about out of it, and you find a way to come back and get yourself into this football game. 2 scores, 2 touchdowns, and they have the lead, actually. But you look at the touchdown pass from Cody Burns to Trotton in the interception with McFadden taking it back to the house. And Ole Miss continuing to fight, but Ben Tate, 58-yard touchdown run. Could have been over. Kids could have quit, but they didn't. They come right back. They get a Jesse Grandy kickoff return of 82 yards for a touchdown. They get a Dexter McCluster 79-yard run for a touchdown.
I mean,
They're continuing to fight. There's no give up in Ole Miss.
That's just the third quarter.
Yeah.
Auburn looking at third down and 8. Time. Drop back at the 23-yard line. Greg Hardy.
Guess who?
With the sack. His 4th sack of the season. His now has 25.5 career sacks.
Yeah, we talked to Tyrone Nix about Greg Hardy. Said he's just kind of getting back to 100% since last year's Florida game. You know, the car accident before the season, and just right there, just a nice speed outside move. But he is one good football player.
Clinton Durst will punt it away. Another driving kick that'll send Marche Green back to the 25-yard line. Marche cuts it inside. Marche Green needs a couple of blocks. Still on his feet to midfield, down to the 45-yard line. What a return from Marche Green. Finally brought down by Josh Harris, the deep snapper. But a solid return for Marche Green. We look at the West Division standings. The winner of this one becomes bowl eligible. Now you got to assume that both these teams will be in the mix of postseason bowl games, but you can't count on anything for sure. Auburn losing 3 in a row. Ole Miss at 2-2.
You never know in the SEC.
McCluster at tailback, but Snead will throw. Quick hitter to the outside. Pass caught. Shea Hodge lays down at the 35 to make the grab.
And I thought it was a smart call there. First down. Houston Nutt going to give his quarterback a chance to use his athletic ability. And Jevin Snead is an athletic quarterback. He can move around and make plays. And there you get him on a roll. Give him kind of that run-pass option. And he's able to find a receiver to the right side of the formation. So you get him going in that subtle way.
Here's McCluster. Breaks a tackle, still on his feet. And he gets hit a head-to-head collision. Darren Bates came up, and McCluster is squirming on the ground. That was almost the crown of the helmet to the crown of the helmet.
Oh boy. Dexter McCluster, they run that drill with running backs with one hand on the ground and changing the football from one hand to the other. He took a shot right there, and just no fault of Darren Bates, just really playing football. It was definitely not intentional. But you see him right here come out of the tackle of Nico Thorpe and just kind of trying to get some extra yards, but gets caught right on the neck and shoulder pads, but he's up.
The little man, that just, you know, we've already had one awful situation earlier in the game. Zach Etheridge was hit
he's
helmet to helmet with his teammate earlier in this game. Zach was escorted off on a stretcher, took him to a hospital. We were informed that he does have movement in his extremities. That is the latest that we have gotten from Zach Etheridge, but it's great to see after that Etheridge injury, Dexter McCluster off to the sidelines. Great play action. Snead has it and will throw to the corner. Shea Hodge working on Walt McFadden. It'll go out of bounds.
Just trying to get that one-on-one matchup with Walter McFadden. And a nice play fake by Jevin Snead. That's the ball right behind his back. Just right there, you see it behind his back. Defenders looking for the football, and now it just gives him that one-on-one on the outside. But you got to throw one that's catchable.
Out of the eye. Brandon Bolden. Loose football. Auburn has it. Darren Bates comes up with the fumble recovery. The true freshman safety.
I think what you got to do here, Dave, is maybe take a look to see if Bolden was down. He was trying to reach that football to the first down marker, very aware of where he was on the field and what he needed to get to pick up the first down. You see him trying to reach it out there, and I'm wondering if the left knee touches down. Nope, it's a fumble. was close, trying to stretch and extend for the first down marker, and the ball just gets popped out, but they're going to take a look at this one anyway.
I think the other aspect of this, did Bates recover it inbounds? Was there a part of his body that was over there on that Auburn bench when he corralled the football?
Well, there have been some weird things happen here on Halloween. Man. A tough run. You see El Toro, Freeman, Phil. You see Antonio Coleman. A lot of good team defense. Nico Thorpe is a guy that actually hits him and draws the ball out. Yeah, but then where are you if the guy that recovers it is out of bounds?
After further review,
there we go.
Ruling on the play is confirmed. First down.
He was inbounds when he recovered it.
Bates will pick up the fumble recovery. Auburn has the football and slows down Ole Miss as they were driving.
Now, when we talked to Gene Chizik yesterday about Darren Bates, I asked him, does he play like a freshman? He said, sometimes, yeah. He plays exactly like a freshman. Not the last two plays he hasn't.
All right, these are just our third quarter numbers. 136 total yards for Auburn, 96 total yards for Ole Miss. We had the 97-yard kick return. There's Cody Burns, nowhere to go. He stopped at the line of scrimmage. Actually might have lost a yard. Alan Walker in on the tackle for Ole Miss. 3:05 to go here in the third quarter, and the score at the bottom says it all. How about 40 points?
I think those two turnovers right there say
36.
Paint a pretty big picture.
Remember where I went to school.
Oh, yeah.
My math's not very good. Yeah, I want it to be 40.
But those two turnovers for Ole Miss, that is a big part of that third quarter.
Back in the air, caught. Donovan Adams.
All right, getting all the breaks. The Auburn Tigers. Tip balls for interceptions, tipped balls or juggled balls for receptions and first downs. Everything going right for Gene Chizik and his Auburn Tigers.
Dead ball. Delay of game. Ball was snapped prior to the ready for play signal. 5-yard penalty. First down.
We don't see that very often.
If you put the ball, if the official over the ball puts the ball down and you see he's supposed to step in there, if you see an offense that is trying to quicken the pace, it's his responsibility to step in there and stop them from snapping the football. I don't know how that's a penalty against Auburn.
Here's the toss to Bente. He runs into a wall on the far side. Patrick Trahan, the senior out of New Orleans, Louisiana, who once again started his football career, collegiate career, right here at Auburn. Patrick had some academic things to deal with, went to junior college, found his way to Ole Miss. Rebels glad to have him.
Well, Gus Malzahn stepping on the gas right now. He is speeding this baby up.
Todd all day to throw over the middle. Pass caught by Adams. He gets rocked at the 48. That'll be a couple of yards shy of the first down. Jonathan Cornell finally pushes him out of bounds.
And you're having to make some quick decisions if you're Tyrone Nix, the defensive coordinator for Ole Miss, because Auburn substituting right at the line of scrimmage. Ball set there, ready to go.
Approaching 1 minute to go in this third quarter. And has seen 36 points put up on the board. 5 over the middle. Here's Fanning. He gets blown up by Johnny Brown and Kendrick Lewis, that he'll take the pounding to pick up the first down at the 41-yard line of Ole Miss.
Well, he gets hit by Lamar Armour, the defensive tackle, but stands right in there knowing that you're going to take a shot to deliver that football for a first down. That's what you want to see from your senior quarterback.
Trahan and Cornell stand up. Ben Tate at the line of scrimmage. Ben Tate now on the afternoon with 19 carries, 119 yards.
And Auburn might just allow this one to go right on into the fourth quarter.
What a third quarter it was, Andre. One for the ages on Halloween Day. Ole Miss involved in one of the most remarkable games played in SEC history 50 years ago to the day on Halloween against LSU. Well, they're playing in another one today at Auburn against the Tigers. It has been a spooky afternoon. Fourth quarter on the way.
The power, the passion of Daughtry. December 2nd at the Pensacola Civic Center. The new album, Leave This Town, available now. Daughtry. With special guest, Theory of a Dead Man. And Capo. Your tickets are on sale now at the box office, all Ticketmaster outlets, and at Ticketmaster.com. Produced by AEG Live.
Today, see it for yourself. The brand new 2010 Camaro at Bay Chevrolet. From its sleek V-shaped grille to its powerful muscular profile, the Camaro is the stuff legends are made of. Fall in love with the Camaro all over again at Bay Chevrolet. With more new Camaros to choose from than practically any dealer on the coast, Bay has the Camaro you'll fall in love with. Bay Chevrolet Mobile.
Flavor here at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Of course, they did all their trick-or-treating at Auburn on Thursday night. Didn't want to interfere with high school or college football, so they do it a few days early.
Got their priorities in order. Little fireman.
15 more minutes to play. Cody Burns in at quarterback. Flag down. He lofts it up, looking for Zachary. And another flag. Pass interference coming up against Ole Miss. But we'll see.
Boy, Terrell Zachary is having one afternoon fighting for the football, and they had to have both he and Darvin Adams step up in this football game to provide some yards down the field in the passing game.
Illegal shift against Auburn. Pass interference against number 8 of the defense. High rule. These penalties offset. We play second down.
Thank you, Penn. I think that works definitely in the favor of Ole Miss to replay that down. And looking at a 2nd and 10 coming up. I just talking to Tyrone Nix the other day, defensive coordinator at Ole Miss. You know, a couple of things he said that have been solid. Our corners have been solid in man coverage, giving us some things we can do defensively, and we've been solid in not allowing the big play.
Happy to get Marche Green back, one of their best cover guys.
But neither one of those things have really come to fruition today, though, as Fannin steps out of bounds. They've been giving up the big play. Man coverage hasn't been as effective as it's been before. He's probably going to blame me for jinxing it for asking the questions.
He didn't want you to jinx that third down stat either. When they came into the football game last week, they were actually 23% against opponents on third down. Came into today at 24%. That is just outstanding. They get guys off the field and keep players fresh, but Auburn going to march into the beat of a different drum today.
Cody Burns at quarterback. Chris Todd stays on the field. Burns trying to loft it up. Good job on just getting it out of bounds and avoiding the big sack. Ole Miss not fooled by that play call, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, don't understand it because Chris Todd was 4-4 on the drive for just over 50 yards. You know, he's finally finding a rhythm. Stay with what's working. Don't trick your way out of a football game or allow Ole Miss more opportunities because of things you're just trying. I think Gus Malzahn's called a pretty good football game, but oh boy, they're going to go for it here.
4th down and 5. Let me see if they can get him to jump. He'll pooch punt it. And he'll hit it at the 5, and it'll roll out at the 1.
Well, when it rains, it pours. A lot of things going right for the Auburn Tigers.
Gene Chizik with a great call to get his quarterback to pooch punt it, and he did so perfectly.
When you're just trying to die this baby inside the 10-yard line, and it goes out at exactly about the 1. Just inside the 1-yard line.
Ole Miss has 99 yards to go. They want to cut into this 13-point deficit with 14:25 to play. Bolden lines up 7 yards deep in the end zone. Snead will throw, going up top. Looking for Shea Hodge, defended by Walter McFadden.
Now, we talked about and discussed this last week early in the game. He's got McFadden high on top and the receiver trailing the defensive back. Throw it to the back shoulder of the receiver, and it's a completion. It's one-on-one coverage. It's an easy toss. Either you're going to get the completion or pass interference.
On 2nd down, they will throw again. This time Hodge, pitch it to the 20. Shea Hodge down to the 42-yard line. Ole Miss not gun shy, throwing out of their end zone. They hit their big play man, Shea Hodge, for 41-yard pickup.
Well, you see the cover 2 outside release. The hole is between the safety and the corner, and it's got to be a drill shot right there as he clears the corner. Give it to him. Well timed by Jevin Snead.
That was a good throw. Here's McCluster. His first carry since he limped off the field, and he ran right into the waiting arms of Antonio Coleman. 7 tackles today for Antonio.
Well, they aren't playing around defensively for Auburn. They may have given up a first down there to Shea Hodge, but man, do they just kind of show up in an ugly way. And that's about the hardest I've ever seen. A lot of plays in the last 2 weeks for Dexter McCluster. That's the hardest I've seen him get hit.
Now Dexter's taking some shots today now. Dexter with 20 carries. Got 4 receptions. Bolden bumped out of bounds. Nico Thorpe pushes him out of bounds.
Big corner, tall, rangy corner, Nico Thorpe, just a sophomore. Both he and Walter McFadden have played excellent football today for this Tiger defense.
You just saw Dexter McCluster looking at holding that right leg. Tim Mullins, the trainer, talking to him. We'll see if Dexter can get back on the field today. He's been taking some big shots. Bolden in at tailback now. Avoids one man, avoids his second. Snead out to the 48-yard line. Give him a gain of about 2 on the play. Craig Stevens finally brings him down, but it will be 4th down and about 5 or maybe 6. And here comes the punt team.
Well, he got some instant pressure, and it was right in his face, the kind you don't want as a quarterback. The ones you don't see, you can kind of deal with it. You feel it. You're able to step up in the pocket. But when you get that pressure right away in your face, it's an immediate adjustment because you cannot, any way, shape, or form, step into a throw.
Wobbly kick. Look at Lewis fields it at the 15. This time, great coverage from the Rebels. They will spot forward progress at the 13.5-yard line. 11:53 to go in the game. Chris Todd and the offense back on the field when we return. 33-20 our score. Auburn out in front by 13, just under 12 minutes to go. And there goes Dexter McCluster into the Ole Miss locker room. We showed you a shot right before the break of him. Looked like he was grabbing that right thigh area, maybe the hip.
Yeah, I don't think he's been right since the Ben Tate hit, or excuse me, Darren Bates hit around the, a little bit early in this fourth quarter.
Here's Fannin, big time sweep. Gets some blocks and turns it up the field, out to the 25-yard line. That'll be a first down. But Chris Todd, who had been asleep at the wheel a little bit in terms of statistics, back in action today.
He gave him a wake-up call today, using his legs to make plays, short intermediate routes. Then they needed him to get the ball down the field, push the ball down the field. Big plays in the passing game. The touchdown pass to Darvin Adams. Yeah, it's fun.
Last two games, 18 of 38 for 127 yards for Chris Todd. But today, boy, it is a different story to say the least. 12 of 21, 212. Fannin, the playmaker, with a stiff arm to the 40. Out over the 45 to the 47-yard line. Let's go downstairs, check in with Kara.
Well, guys, you'll remember last week in the LSU game, they brought in backup quarterback Neil Caudill after Chris Todd's awful day. Caudill did lead the Tigers to a late touchdown, but he was the first person this week to say that the entire Auburn team stands completely behind Chris Todd. The backup will do whatever he needs to personally to make sure that there is no division in the locker room. The coach is standing behind Todd, too, and it's paying off for him today.
Thanks, Kara. Absolutely. There is not a divided locker room at all at Auburn. Fannin tripped up. Jarrell Poe, 330-pound junior nose tackle.
Good football player right there. Active, had a great game last week against Arkansas. Saw him at fullback a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of paving the way for Dexter McCluster and the Ole Miss running backs. But Chris Todd, he's really stepped up to ask him today to push the football down the field, get Terrell Zachary and Darvin Adams involved in the passing game, and he has rewarded them with just that.
Cody Burns in motion. Todd will fake to him and throw downfield. I think his arm might have been hit as he released it. Todd hit the deck looking for Tim Hawthorne. Todd a little slow to get up. Mario Fannin also leaving the field. Looks like he might have got a little banged up in pass protection as well.
But a good job of pressure here without bringing a lot of bodies. And it's Jonathan Cornell, the middle linebacker, that gets to Chris Todd.
Third down and a dozen. Todd nowhere to go. Huge loss, and the football is free. Ole Miss will have it. Johnny Brown comes up with the football. Kendrick Lewis, I believe, was the man who knocked it out of Todd's hands. I don't know what Chris Todd was thinking at that point, taking a huge loss and then lost the football. And Ole Miss is in business.
So much a young quarterback can learn from just pre-snap read. Third down and long, you've got to get a sense that blitz is coming. See everybody snuggling up to the line of scrimmage. Right there, you see bodies coming, bodies coming, bodies coming. Even one from the outside here. You got to know when it's coming and sense it. Now, my clock tells me I've got to get rid of the football. Things have sped up. I got to get the football out, and certainly got to hold on to the ball.
Here's Grandy trying to get the corner, and he doesn't get anything but a couple of shots. About a yard loss for Jesse Grandy. Craig Stevens leading the way. 9:52. Clock moves to play in the game that has been a wild one. Dave, Neil, Andre Ware, Kara Capuano. Glad you could be with us on our SEC Network Game of the Week. We picked a good one. Number 25, Ole Miss, in terms of the BCS standings. Came in here red hot, couple of wins, looking impressive. Auburn was reeling, losing 3 straight. You wouldn't know it if you've been watching this today. swing it out to Bolden. He's got 2 defenders to beat, and he can't do it. Cannot do it. He loses 5.
Well, David's like Ted Roof's got the playbook.
Look at our West standings and what this game means for one of these teams to walk out of here becoming bowl eligible. Both teams sitting at 5 overall wins. Ole Miss trying to play catch up in the West, although it's going to be a tough task with Alabama already sitting there at 5-0, getting rested for the stretch run. 4 receivers set on 3rd down. Here's Snead. He sees a gap. Will take it. Flag comes in the backfield. Snead should have the first down, but I think that'll be a hold against Antonio Coleman. He was dragged down in that backfield.
And I think they're going to get Bradley Sewell, the sophomore left tackle, for this, working against Coleman.
Number 78 on the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Down remains 3rd.
That's a tall order to ask Mr. Sewell to contain Antonio Coleman, one of the better pass rushers in the SEC.
Well, Sowell's a guy that just kind of, thrown into the fire, trying to replace Michael Orr, and you knew that Coleman would flip-flop ends to kind of get that matchup on Sowell.
Been a rough day for him. He's either got Coleman or Carter.
Yeah, either one. Snead, he lost the football. He got it back at the 45, but another 5-yard loss. Antonio Coleman, his 2nd sack this afternoon, and Coleman now has 5.5 sacks on the year.
Yeah, put him on an island, a young player. You got to have somebody either chip, put a tight end, but this is just speed rush right around the young sophomore left tackle, and the presence in mind and bat the football out of the quarterback's hands right there. Can't get your hands on him enough to control him. Boy, you have got to get a running back, tight end, somebody to help out Bradley Sewell.
Auburn will take a timeout. And we will take a break as well. A punt coming up, or at least we think a punt. Back in a moment. Time running out on the Rebels. They're looking at a 4th down and officially 32 yards to go. First down marker inside the 15. Rebels will punt it away. Tyler Campbell let it hit at the 1, and Ole Miss can't save it. Inches away from putting Auburn deep inside the 1-yard line. Ole Miss fans, follow Coach Kennedy and the team to San Juan, Puerto Rico for the 3rd annual Puerto Rico tip-off, November 19th through the 22nd. Watch the Rebels take on Villanova, Indiana, Georgia Tech, Dayton, and more. For tickets and travel, visit PuertoRicoTipOff.com. Alan Walker trying to save that, and the nose of the football just touches the line. Cody Burns in at quarterback. Here's Fannin in motion, but Burns will keep it. Cody Burns, a young man. In case you didn't catch this story, last week against LSU, late in the game, 4th quarter, he gets hit so hard that his bottom 2 teeth get knocked out. They actually penetrated through his lower lip. He goes out, gets his teeth, actually physically takes him to the bench. A few plays later, he's back on the field. Gene Chizik in the locker room after the game, talking to his club after that tough loss to LSU, said we need more guys with the determination, the dedication that Cody Burns showed in that game. He said there's a lot of guys in this locker room that will do that, but we need everybody to have that kind of attitude.
Tough competitor.
Todd under pressure again. Dropped again back at the 13. Alan Walker, the first man there on the spot. Lawan Scott also in the mix. That'll be a loss of about 7.
Well, this is an Ole Miss defense that just doesn't know the word quit. And Tyrone Nix, their coordinator, he isn't going to let them quit. They're going to try to figure out a way to get the football out and away from Chris Todd. Bringing pressure now. A lot of guys showing up. Alan Walker, Jonathan Cornell.
Third down and 17. Little handoff to Tate. That was read well by Lamarck Armour. The senior out of Nashville, Tennessee, not fooled on the delayed handoff, and now Auburn will have to punt it away, but the clock continues to move now. 5:47 in the game.
Well, Gus Malzahn goes further old school. Little wraparound draw. Going by the running back and then kind of wrap it back in front of him. Full of surprises.
Wobbly kick, short kick, fair catch called for. Inside Auburn territory by Marche Green at the 46-yard line. So Dexter McCluster and company. The offense back on the field. They'll need to hurry it up if they want to get back in this. Auburn Tigers leading Ole Miss 33-20, 5:21 to go in the game. Time to take a look at our upcoming schedule for the Auburn Tigers, brought to you by Toyota. Moving forward, only 3 after this one: Furman, at Georgia, and then Alabama. Of course, the winner of this one becomes bowl eligible. Ole Miss needs to hurry up offensively. Shea Hodge makes the catch at the 40-yard line. A gain of 6 on the play. Coverage by Josh Bynes, that middle linebacker.
Well, still plenty of time left. Just over 5 minutes. Ole Miss still with the 2 timeouts. They've got to score and score in a hurry. Have a defensive stand, maybe a 3 and out. And you see Houston Nutt trying to hurry his offense up.
Here's McCluster trying to catch a little seam, can't do it. Craig Stevens slides in there to make the stop from the outside backer spot. Let's check in with Rob Stone. Rob.
Guys, an emphatic opening drive of the game for #1 Florida versus Georgia. Tim Tebow will find Riley Cooper. Cooper's 4th touchdown of the year. 6 plays, 80 yards in 2:39, 7-0 Gators.
And Tebow still proving he can throw it around a little bit.
I think Tim can play a little bit, right? There's Snead, has all day to throw. Fires a bullet back over the middle. Incomplete, looking for Lionel Bro. That'll bring up 4th down.
And it's 4 down territory for the Ole Miss Rebels. Going forward, that one, it had a little something on it, but you got to come away with that one if you're Lionel Bro. 3rd down, critical part of the game. Anything you touch has got to be caught.
Yeah, this very easily could be the game right here for Ole Miss if they can't get a 1st down. 4:07 to go, and you're down 13. Far side, Shea Hodge. 1st down at the 31-yard line. Walt McFadden on the coverage, and Shea Hodge needs a little bit of help with the wide receiver position. He's been their only guy, really.
Well, keep in mind as well, until those chains move and are set, the clock will stop until they set the chains. So that's some extra time. Then the 2 timeouts that Ole Miss have that they have in their back pockets, that'll give them some additional time, or a couple of clock stoppages.
Shea Hodge, the only receiver to catch a pass today for Ole Miss. McCluster has a few catches. Bolden has 4. Hartman has 1. Time to take a look now at our Good Hands play of the day, brought to you by Allstate. And it has to be Walt McFadden coming up with the interception return for a touchdown when everybody in the stadium thought it was an incomplete pass, except him.
Well, he didn't quit on the play. Kept his eyes and hands alert, and then presence of mind to run the football back.
Snead trying to squeeze it in there, and flag comes in on Craig Stevens.
Might have just had that left hand around the back of Gerald Harris, just enough to get the officials' attention.
Pass interference. Number 46 on the defense. Penalty will be at the spot where the foul occurred. Automatic first down.
Just kind of keep an eye on that left hand of Craig Stevens. See the tight end right here, little out cut, and right there, just a left hand, enough to get the officials' attention. Good call by the officials.
Ole Miss going to have to start thinking about going to the end zone here with a 3:11 on the clock. That's what they do, trying to hit Hodge in the corner. He gets hit twice. There's no question that Jevin Sneed, Andre, is locked in on 3. Shea Hodge, he's not looking anywhere else.
Now, when he picks a side, that's the side he's going to. And if you're a receiver, you're hoping that it's not you in this case, because that's what happens. They start playing the piano on your ribs.
Second down and 10. A cluster and a tailback. There's your ball game.
Smart play. Smart play to just go down. You don't want anything bad to happen.
His second interception of the afternoon for the senior out of Pompano Beach, Florida. He has 4 on the season, and with 2:54 to go, Auburn leads by 13, and they have the football.
Once again, locked in, Jevin Sneed trying to go down the left side of the formation to Marquise Summers, the receiver. You see the eyes, he's locked. I'm going there. McFadden makes him pay, and Auburn leads it.
Auburn just 2 minutes and 54 seconds away from breaking a 3-game losing skid, and they will do it over the Ole Miss Rebels if they can just hold on to the football for a little bit. Now, Ole Miss does have a couple of timeouts as you look at Walt McFadden.
Well, he's had a heck of a ball game.
And because of that, he's our Wrangler 5-star player of the game. A couple of interceptions, one of those returned for a touchdown along with 5 tackles. Here's Tate off the left side, give him a couple.
Let's take a look at his 2 interceptions. The first going back to the house, just presence in mind to stay with a tipped football, then get yourself up the field into the end zone and hit. In zone coverage, caught the quarterback staring down the receiver and making him pay. I think the best part about that the end of that play was getting himself down on the ground. You don't want to get hit, have the ball come flying out, give it back to Ole Miss. Just slide down, let the offense finish this baby off.
Today's SEC Network game has been brought to you by Allstate. You're in good hands. Champion, it's how you play. The Puerto Rico Tip-Off. For tickets and travel, visit PuertoRicoTipOff.com. Nissan, shift the way you move. And by the 3rd annual SEC Big East Invitational, December 9th and 10th in both New York and Tampa. Dave Neal, Andre Ware, Kara Capuano, glad you could be with us as we put the finishing touches on this one from Jordan-Hare Stadium. Second down coming up for Auburn. Ole Miss with 1 timeout left. Here's Ben Tate, cuts it back inside, gets a couple of yards on the play. Ben, 22 carries, 125 yards today, does have a touchdown. He's been the workhorse.
And it went over a season average of 115 a game for the season, so he's had himself a nice afternoon as well. That just about does it in timeouts for Ole Miss. They can't stop the clock anymore today.
Time to take a look at the Ole Miss upcoming schedule, brought to you by Toyota. Moving forward, and you see what's left for the Rebels. Of course, Northern Arizona next week. Then Tennessee, that's going to be a hard game. LSU, you know that's going to be a war, and always the Egg Bowl. Mississippi State with a chip on their shoulder after what happened a year ago when they were completely dismantled in Oxford. So, you know, for Ole Miss, I mean, the question is, you know, a lot went wrong today, but there's still a good football team somewhere in there.
Yeah, there really is, and good football players. It's just that it seemed like every break today went to the Auburn Tigers. Dug a hole for themselves, Ole Miss, and just really couldn't get themselves out of it.
Give a lot of that credit to Ted Roof's defense. Really put the clamps on Ole Miss offensively. Here goes Stallworth. That'll be a first down, and that will do it. He got it out over the 45, and that's all he had to do.
Yeah, it was as if he knew exactly where that first down marker was, and he hit a gear to get to it and was not going to be denied and picking up the first down. Now it's just getting into my favorite formation, or actually a little bit more time left on the clock, but they'll just really try to run the clock out here. A couple of kneel downs, and this one will be over.
This is an Auburn football team that only has 12 seniors. Very young in a lot of areas, not a lot of depth. Ted Roof telling us it really limits his aggressiveness and his normal style that he likes to play, just because there's just not enough bodies to do what he wants to do.
Well, the bodies he has, they stepped up and played big today.
Chris Todd coming off a 47-yard performance last week, and if you combine the last 3 games, a total of 260 yards through the air. Today, 212 yards passing on 12 out of 22. And, you know, Gus Malzahn and Gene Chizik telling us, hey, this is not about Chris Todd. He wasn't the reason we were 5-0, and he's not the reason we lost 3 in a row.
Well, you have to have guys that run and catch it for you. You have to have guys to protect you, and a lot of factors play in the quarterback's performance. It is not all on the quarterback by any stretch of the imagination, but he needed this shot in the arm desperately, and I think it came just at the right time for Chris Todd.
I don't know this. You answer this question for me, maybe. Even when you lose as the quarterback, you feel like it's on you, I would assume.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, you start analyzing, and just about everybody that's ever played quarterback, right after a game is over, you can play back every play in your head and feel like, oh, I could have done this differently or this differently to contribute in a different way. But, you know, as quickly as you can remember it, you got to forget it as well to get on down the road.
What an afternoon. What a third quarter. Auburn led 10-7 at halftime and started opening up with some big plays like that for Ben Tate. Tate will close the door on the afternoon and hold on to that football. He picks up 16 on that carry. Gene Chizik and company will have some smiles today. I said, Coach, listen, the early game, get out of here. You can enjoy the night. He says, only one way I'm going to enjoy the night. Well, I think he'll enjoy it tonight.
That's it. We're leaving with a W.
That's right. Oh.
Enjoy some good old Halloween candy. How about that?
Meanwhile, it'll be a long trip back to Oxford for Houston Nutt. And how quickly you think you have it, just as quickly you can lose it in this league. But a great win for Auburn. They become bowl eligible under Gene Chizik in his first season with a 33-20 win. We will come back to Auburn and put a wrap on it. Stay with us on the SEC Network.